So hey anime fans, the series name is What If Naruto Was Neglected by His Family and Become the Dangerous Evil. So let's start the series. It became a chilly, darkish night time inside the village of Konohagaku no Sato. The streets were paved with silence, and the lighting had been all dimmed. No longer a single motion was discovered on the roads. Now not even from the animal inhabitants. A little bit outdoor of this calm location, at the outskirts of the village, there was a loud cry ringing through the forest. The voice belonged to a raven-haired baby no older than 2 weeks. He changed into currently wrapped inside of a blue blanket, while his brother turned into cuddling his tiny form. There Sasuke-kun, your Itachi and Ai-san is right here for you. The whole lot is going to be alright, the 7 years antique said. As if the boy understood his brother's voice, he slowly stopped crying. Sasuke looked up into his huge brother's obsidian eyes and gave a light snicker. Itachi turned into amazed. His brother ought to experience feelings so casually, and from there on he knew similar to him the boy would emerge as a master of the Sharingan. Itachi seemed right down to his little brother and gave a small smile. At some point you'll grow strong, even stronger than me, Sasuke-kun. Itachi idea to himself. He changed into unexpectedly kicked from his musings whilst the dense dark chakra enveloped the environment, causing Sasuke to start crying. Itachi appeared unworriedly at the same time as thinking about what should have precipitated that electricity. He stretched his senses and felt in which the disturbance turned into coming from. Oh, man, that was some sturdy chakra. Judging from its intensity, I'd say it became coming from the Namake's property. However, who or what's chakra is that? He wondered. Sasuke kept crying and Itachi attempted to nurse his little brother back to sleep. Geez, why do I get the sensation that something awful has just came about? I absolutely desire I'm incorrect, and it's simply my imagination, the raven-haired boy pleaded. 5 minutes before Namake's mansion, a noisy cry crammed up the dimly lit room, causing the people inside to grin and cry. The voice belonged to a tiny spectacle named Naruto. He had blonde hair and blue eyes, with 3 accented birthmarks on each aspect of his face. The bundle of power turned into born now not too lengthy in the past, and already he gave the occupants of the room notable pleasure. The nurse that added the infant wrapped him in an orange blanket, and started out cooing at him. Naruto made a child's equivalent of a grin and began giggling. Quickly more another cry be a part of Naruto, letting everybody recognize every other one had plopped from Kushina's womb. The medical doctors wrapped the woman in a red blanket, and gave her to Biwako. You're so adorable. Yes, you're, she said, putting the second one baby into her mom's hands. Soon one extra cry lit the room, and this one, not like the other 2, had a tuft of red hair on its head. The health practitioner grabbed the child and wrapped her in a purple blanket earlier than giving her to a nurse. Minato smiled seeing his youngsters get cooed, and him being the softer that he changed into attempted to reach for his heir to the clan. Minato tried to grab Naruto earlier than Kushina got him, but Biwako, some other occupant of the room, smacked his. You simply are not seeking to maintain the infant before his mother, are you? She requested him. Minato gave a goofy grin and sheepishly rubbed the again of his head. He then regarded down to see his spouse cuddling with their son. Kushina regarded up and asked, Minato, what have to we call him? Kissing her son's forehead, the elder blonde appeared decisively before coming to a consensus. What approximately Jiraiya's concept, Naruto? He answered with enthusiasm. Kushina gave a mild smile and appeared down at her toddler, Maelstrom. I really like it, the crimson head stated, bouncing Naruto up and down. The boy gurgled in pleasure as his mom performed with him. However, she stopped, remembering her different 2 youngsters. Well then, what about the opposite? What ought to we name them? She requested, seeing the opposite 2 youngsters rest silently of their father's fingers. Minato seemed down at them and decided names for his princesses. Okay, permits call the blonde Naruko, and we can name the purple head Natsumi. Minato said, handing each to Kushina while she permit Biwako take Naruto to be wiped clean like her daughters. She started bounding the 2 ladies up and down, calling their names, and the toddler women have been giggling and whatnot. They happy own family might have continued with their laugh, but an excruciating yell resounded via the room. The 2 new dad and mom regarded up and noticed a man with an orange mask choking the nurse who brought their toddler. The person threw the female to the ground and vanished into skinny air. Minato and Kushina noticed him reappear behind them after a few seconds and were stunned through the object in his hands. Step far away from the Jinchuriki or the infant receives it, he yelled. The man pulled out a hidden kunai knife and organized to stab Naruto. Minato looked worriedly and said, Wait, live calm, do not do it please. Minato already acted speedy, teleporting his daughters to the safety of his holiday residence, and as he appeared once more in a break-up 2D, he looked at the stranger, who chuckled before speak me. The masked stranger regarded up and spoke back, I'm flawlessly calm, even as throwing the toddler into the air. Die. Minato used his godlike pace and stuck Naruto earlier than gravity started pulling the child down. While he regarded down, he saw Naruto unhurt and let loose a sigh of relief. He tried to show to Kushina, but a sizzling sound caught his interest. Do not let up, but, the mysterious stranger whispered. Huh? Paper bombs, Minato concept. He quick grabbed Naruto's nonetheless form and used his flying Raijin jutsu to teleport to his nearest kunai marker. The masked stranger gave a grunt and became again to Kushina. And now for you, my sweet Jinchuriki, he voiced in despair. With Minato, the blonde Hokage appeared with Naruto on the fast grass of the forest. He surveyed the region and then fast-seemed back down to Naruto. Phew, he's noticeably unhurt, Minato deduced. Guy, that masked guy is strong. He purposely used the paper bombs to lure me away from Kushina. I need to hurry, conjectured Minato. He snapped his head up and teleported to his mansion, so he ought to rest Naruto together with his two sisters. With masked guy, Kushina become evenly suffering in opposition to her bindings. But alas, they would not come aside. And RNG. What do you want? She challenged. The masked guy just seemed incredulously and gave a light chuckle. If you should know, pass over Jinchuriki, I want the Kyuubi sealed inside of you. Now come on out, Kyuubi, he yelled, glaring his Sharingan into her eyes. Kushina felt an immense pain increase her stomach, and she or he soon noticed bubbles coming from her navel. With Kyuubi, Kyuubi has been chained to a boulder of molten lava for approximately 21 years. His host nearly never communicated with him, and now he heard a voice name him out. Kushina. Kushina is with you? He yelled. What do you want, female? He in no way would given a respond, but an ominous feeling resounded through the brisk cavern. Kushina? He pleaded. Nonetheless, no sound got here from the lady. The lava on his lower back began dripping of the rock, and after some seconds his bindings loosened up. Wretched lady. If this is your concept of a joke, it isn't humorous. Get your accursed ass out here so I'm able to consume you, he yelled. Once again Kurama heard silence. The fox grew to become his head to survey his environment, however misplaced his mind whilst he saw a pink eye with 3 comma marks in it. Damn it all! The kitsune yelled. His eyes began spinning, and soon 2 enclosed Sharingan eyes took the location of his slit ones. His chakra unconsciously leaked from the hole within the sky, and he felt the exceptional pull yank him from the subspace. Kushina and masked guy. Kushina painfully watched because the beast that stood before her finished rising from her belly. If she had to select among the pain of infant birth and the intolerable pain she was in now, she could gladly take the previous. After Kurama completed forming outside the actual global, Kushina's frame fell slowly to the floor. The masked guy became his sights on the village in the back of him and started to walk away. And for my final act we shall break Konohagakure no Sato, repudiated the masked guy. Earlier than he could begin his second step, a whispering voice pleaded with him. Wait, in which are you going? Kushina huffed out. The masked man became to the bearer of the voice and saw it become the red-headed Jinchuriki from in advance. Oh, so you're still alive? You Uzumaki's certain have loads of stamina, he inquired. No matter, earlier than I destroyed that wretched village, I can kill you with the demon in the back of me, female. He yelled. Kyuubi directed his attention to his preceding jailer and poised his hands to strike Kushina. Seconds before paw ought to smother the female, a yellow flash appeared before her and grabbed her frame. He then reappeared at another ceiling kunai at the back of Kyuubi. Minato. Minato, is that you? Are the youngsters adequate? Kushina rasped out. Minato looked down at his spouse and replied, yes, they may be in a secure location proper now. Kushina's respiration swallowed, and she or he set free a whisper of, thank goodness. The pink head gripped Minato's shirt and stated, Minato, you have to prevent that masked man at all costs. He is going to obliterate Konoha. Minato looked at the person and jumped away in a yellow burst. Ha! He flew away once more, the mysterious stranger stated. With Minato and Kushina, Minato reappeared with Kushina and carried her next to Naruto. Her different 2 girls instinctively latched onto her fingers and cuddled along with her. Minato admitted to himself silently that if this wasn't a lift or demise scenario, then he might giggle at the lovable scene. Kushi-chan, please live nonetheless. You have to shop your strength. I could be proper lower back, Minato insisted. Kushina pulled her toddler closer to her and said, please be safe, Minato. nodded and flew off once more. Kushina seemed down at the tiny bodies next to her and murmured a nearly inaudible Naruto, Minato, Hokage Mountain. For the fourth time tonight Minato appeared in a yellow flash. Whilst he landed, Kyuubi directed his murderous visage onto the blonde man meters far away from him. So that you observed me. Provide me your best shot, Fluffy. He yelled. Kurama glared and opened his mouth. A red ball of swirling electricity started out, gaining size from the Severa miniature balls around it. After about 10 seconds the ball changed into the size of Hokage Mountain, and Kyuubi clamped his jaws over the orb of destruction. Oh shit, Minato cursed. Kurama threw lower back his head and opened his mouth, inflicting the loss of life ball to head flying at the person. Damn it, I need greater chakra to teleport something of this size, he idea. Minato held his arms outward and the ceiling kunai in his palms commenced to glow. While the ball turned into inches far away from Minato, it began to get sucked into a portal round his arms. Hiruzen turned into watching the spectacle on a close-by roof and changed into surprise that Minato eventually finished his jutsu. Wait, have been could he send a ball of that length, he wondered. His query spoke back whilst an explosion resonated miles far from the village. Minato want to rest. However, the masked man appeared immediately in the back of him. Minato slashed at him like a madman and the kunai just went immediately through him. The masked man attempted to suck Minato into his vortex. However, on the closing second Minato teleported away. Empty wooded area. Minato regarded in the woodland just because the masked man rematerialized at the back of him. Minato jumped and gave a spinning aerial kick, but it too simply went via the stranger before him. As he descended from the air, the masked guy gave a punch that the Hokage turned into pressured to stay away from. Minato back flipped away from the danger and accessed the state of affairs. If I attack him, he'll just move intangible for some seconds, and by means of my count his time restrict is 5 seconds a chunk. So if I fool him out with some space-time ninjutsu, then he won't be able to dodge or move intangible in time. Minato idea. Reading the masked man, the robed stranger whipped his palms behind him as chain shackles glistened within the moon mild. Minato and the person each ran in the direction of every different on the equal time. However, as they approached closer and nearer, Minato took out a kunai and threw it on the man's face. The mask had become intangible as the kunai just exceeded proper via him. However, he wasn't looking forward to the Hokage in front of him to disappear as he almost touched him. The man had quite a lot zero hazard to react to the high-speed teleportation, and he paid for it with a Rasengan to the returned, cutting his connection to the Kyuubi. So, he severed my connection to the fur ball. No matter, I've carried out Section 1, now to attend till the requirements for Section 2 are met, he said to himself. Minato dashed to the man in the back of the masks. However, as he was about to attempt his blend once more, the man's special distortion kicked in, inflicting Minato to prevent. It's been fun, Minato Namikaze. However, alas, our amusing have to come to and give up. If you live this night, then with the aid of all method try and discover me, but I doubt you shall succeed, the person said, vanishing into his wormhole. Minato panted as the man escaped, but then he turned his interest returned to the malevolent chakra approximately 400 meters away from him. He sighed and flew off to the Kyuubi to see if he ought to seal the gargantuan beast into something, but he simply knew he wasn't going to, just like the next part. Kyuubi area, Kurama become simply launched from Minato, and he turned into even extra pissed than while he become internal of Kushina. Damn that asshole Sarutobi. He poked me with that pole and rubbed my fur way too difficult, he stated. Then nearly right away his face contorted into a frown, and he yelled out, that genuinely infuriates me. Only for that this village becomes a vacant lot. While a Baijidama charged inside his mouth. This unique Baijidama was distinctive. Instead of the normal pink, it turned into pure black and appreciably larger than standard. Before Kyuubi could finish his ritual, Minato slammed Gamabunta proper onto his lower back. This further pissed Kurama off, and he prepared to fireplace the uncontrolled blast. However, nowadays just simply become no longer his day. The overgrown bullfrog slammed his ass on Kurama's mouth, causing matters. When he smelt toad shit, and the Baijidama collapsed internal his mouth, inflicting the ball to explode. Damn it, he groaned. Minato jumped off of Gamabunta at the same time as appearing hand signs and symptoms. Miyuma Nahitsuji, serpent, horse, rat, ram. Minato landed on the Nine-Tails head and looked up to the 033 Hokage. I'm sorry you were given out earlier. Then a brilliant mild enveloped him and the Nine-Tails. Minato appeared in his mansion and expeditiously grabbed Naruto and Kushina. Once he had a tight preserve on the two. He teleported simply in time earlier than Kurama smashed into his residence. He then reappeared seconds later, and in a huff gently set Kushina and his 3 kids down. Huff. Damn it, I'm almost out. Huff. Of chakra. Huff he concept. Minato looked at the dew beneath him and asked them, "Are you okay?" Kushina slowly awoke and nodded, and Naruto, like all right son, giggled. Minato put on a grin at his son's antics but needed to prevent when life smacked him in the face. "Minato-koi, are you very well?" Kushina requested. Minato regarded to his proper to see his spouse lovingly searching at him. "I will manipulate," he responded. "I need to prevent Kyubi. There are treasured things that I have to defend." Kyubi stalked towards his prey all while giving a shark-like glare. "I swear I will defend my valuable matters," Minato rambled. He organized to begin the Reaper demise seal but became stopped by means of Kushina's voice. "Wait, Minato. I will nevertheless stop him," she yelled. Chains popped from her again and entered the ground. They got here from below Kurama and ensnared him frame in a complicated set of rules network. It was when Kushina saw his seals that he got an concept to try out on of his other seals. "I will seal the 9 tails lower back inside me and it will die with me," she stated with tears. "My only remorse is..." She turned into cut off by means of Minato's determined voice. "No, Kushina. Pay attention. If you do this, he will most effective reform to put waste to Konoha again. I'm going to seal 1/2 of him into Naruto, and 1/2 of into Natsumi," he stated. Kushina regarded shocked earlier than reprimanding Minato's idiocy. "Idiot. Sealing something so malevolent in a brand newborn could best kill them. No, at maximum the ladies can best take underneath a quarter. Why even say such stupidity?" Minato gave a light chuckle and said, "Kushina, study where are. If you haven't observed, that is the very clearing wherein I stored you. I'm going to seal the Kyubi in them with the half-talisman seal. That manner with the Uzumaki restoration and power will shield them, and no longer most effective will they continue to exist. However, they will be like a notable ninjas." Kushina checked out her girls, after which Minato, "Well, whilst your plan is high quality, I nevertheless must argue. The kids needs a father figure," she yelled. Minato appeared downcast. He appeared towards Kushina and then looked at Naruto. Quickly another idea struck him. "Kushina, you just helped me. I will use that jutsu to re-energize our energy with natural chakra," Minato exclaimed. Kushina became yet again stunned by means of Minato's intellectual brilliance, which could absolutely paintings. "That manner we are able to both they all. However, what in case you fail?" she wondered. Minato looked at her and said, "I'm able to want." Kushina nodded and seemed back off to her toddlers. She hugged them tightly and kissed their foreheads. Meanwhile, Kyubi simply were given to Minato and Kushina and changed into about to strike. However, the chains speedy tightened their maintain on him and pulled him back off. Minato just preparing the adjust, and he drew the ultimate diagrams on the dust. It became the same as a yin and yang circle, however, with a couple of kanji, some in black ink and some in white ink. "Right here is going," he yelled, beginning his lengthy chain of hand symptoms. "Tatsu Nahetsuji. Inumiyu I Tora Saratori Ushiyuma. Tatsu Nahetsuji Inumiyu I Tora Saratori Ushiyuma. Hokage's secret jutsu. 1/2 talisman seal. Dragon, rat, ram, dog, serpent, hare, boar, tiger, monkey, fowl, ox, horse, dragon, rat, ram, dog, serpent, hare, boar, tiger, monkey, fowl, ox, horse." The kanji started out swirling round Naruto and Natsumi earlier than snaking their way up to the Kyubi, who became absolutely powerless to move. The letters acted like a blade and reduced into Kurama's belly, even as pushing out 2 airy figures. The primary become a black fox with 9 tails and the second one turned into a white fox with 9 tails. The body of the Kyubi disintegrated, leaving nothing in his empty space. No longer even ash. Quickly the 2 chains of white and black have been pulled down into the twin ladies' stomachs, inflicting a white yang seal to appear on Naruto and a black yin seal to appear on Natsumi. With the Kyubi gone, the women rested quietly as their father picked them and Kushina up at the equal time. Minato looked at the women and gave a small smile. To date so accurate. Kushina was out like a mild, and he had an excellent 30 seconds earlier than he ran out of chakra, and his frame wanted rest from chakra exhaustion. "Now, for the re-energizing seal," he yelled. "Mii Hetsuji yu inu Natori inu hand clap. Uzumaki forbidden art. Half lifestyles rejuvenation." The ceremonial regulate rose up from the ground and the Uzumaki celestial god seemed earlier than Minato. He nodded and pushed chakra into the Kage and his wife, certifying that they would stay for a complete lifetime. Minato Namikaze. In your fortitude and sacrifice today I cannot take your soul. You children want you and I'm able to let this slide seeing as they're from the Uzumaki extended family. The god of death stated. Minato nodded and commanded the arms to stop feeding them chakra. After some moments it did and Minato felt higher than he ever was earlier then. Thank you, god of the Uzumaki. Thank you, Minato stated slowly. A bright light enveloped the region and the Kage fell asleep like his spouse and children. The cloud of smoke surrounding the demise god commenced swirling into Naruto's navel and then he vanished at the same time as silently giving a curse to the Namake's own family. The goo then encompassed Naruto's frame and sank deep into his chakra community, changing him, making him into something unique. What become he? Properly it really is for later? It's exquisite, the demise god stated searching at Naruto. He still has the Uzumaki chakra size but it feels calm and caressing like a senju's. This boy is going to be robust. I will already inform that now. However, Minato, you idiot, you must understand everything has a consequence. A fee that should be paid. I'll get mine and oh, little Naruto boy has stuck the attention of that man. The god rambled. Naruto grew to become to the proper and went right into a deep sleep. He would soon have many adversities to stand. After approximately 10 minutes the barrier fell down and Sarutobi rushed internal it. While he arrived inside the middle of the clearing he observed a sleeping Minato, and he noticed the loss of life god floating above 4 bodies. Sarutobi thought he slayed them, however was waved off from the death god. Earlier than you asked, no, I did not kill any of them. Minato and Kushina have sealed Kyuubi into their daughters and no, I've come to collect my rate from little Naruto right here. Do not worry, he is safe from harm, however inform Minato while he wakes up that while his circle of relatives will by no means be the identical, the Reaper explained. This calmed Hiruzen down, and he proceeded to call for Umbu to take the Namake's family to their personal mansion. Simply as he turned into getting equipped to name for help, Minato mumbled, "Don, contact my ramen," which caused Kushina to roll over and hit him inside the head while moaning ramen exact. Hiruzen's sweat brought to his predecessor's antics and huffed out in annoyance. Minato, you and your family are one of a kind, I swear. He stated to himself that Minato, continually staying one step ahead, nonetheless I should provide him props. This boy may be robust, and he's going to keep this international. Sarutobi rambled. Naruto smiled in his sleep and the 033 Hokage picked him up. The Umbu returned up arrived and they all picked up the Namakes to leap them over to their domestic. Now, allows get you on your nice heat home, younger one, he said strolling away. Time. Bypass week. Minato changed into busy taking care of his 3 youngsters and he determined that mission to be almost not possible by myself. Kushina might exchange a diaper and then he would feed any other. One desired milk, and every other needed a new diaper. Once commenced crying and the other began cry. It turned into countless and Minato became exhausted from his trouble. Kushina turned into no higher, sitting on the couch nursing Naruto back to sleep as Natsumi and Naruto slept inside the infant crib. After 30 grueling minutes the kid in her hands subsequently ceased crying and now she positioned to little girls subsequent to her brother and sister, inflicting all 3 so huddle collectively, simply as Minato was approximately to plop down subsequent to Kushina. A poof of smoke seemed in the front of them, and out of the smog regarded the mythical pervert Jiraiya. Kushina might have cursed him out if that long and worrying entrance he did awoke her children, but happily for them the children had been too worn out to cry. As Jiraiya started to sense comfy Minato and Kushina truly wanted to rid themselves of him so they may enjoy the very little Reka-sensei. It's awesome to peer you and all, however exactly why are you here? Minato asked Jiraiya even as rubbing his blonde hair sheepishly. Jiraiya seemed amazed on the surprising sharpness in his voice, but he decided not to pull out this little reunion anymore. His voice immediately grew solemn for what he desired to tell Minato and Kushina. It modified once more, he said sagely. Minato tiredly rose his left eye and looked at his long-term sensei. What, modified precisely? Minato asked with Kushina looking up, additionally thinking what changed in this so referred to as prophecy. Just as she turned into about to feature her personal query, Jiraiya beat her to the punch with the aid of answering by means of telling them the riddle that the toads instructed him. 2. Warriors will someday arise and shop the Ninja International, but also they preserve the ability to ruin it. Those youngsters shall have one key distinction. One's power is considered black and the other is white. One will be born a bit before the opposite, and each are of the identical gender. Those 2 warriors will come from strong clans, yet in opposition to all odds thrown at them they may truly make the in the end right desire. Both have a few wonderful history and additionally a few tremendous entity backing them up, and they can be trained on the identical time. Minato went huge-eyed while Kushina checked out the toddler crib in front of them. In brief, the two of them got here to the equal conclusion as each different. They couldn't possibly be wrong, proper? Two mother and father can't probably muck up a really obvious prophecy such as this one. It's the ladies, isn't it? Kushina said extra, then she asked. Jiraiya simply turned her way and nodded his head in agreement. I agree with it, is fairly apparent, on the grounds that Naruto isn't always a female. So I agree with so that you can maximize their strength to save the sector. You could need to remove Naruto's training if you want to attend to the two saviors, he stated. Kushina began to glare darkly on the perverted sage, but Minato put a hand on her and advised her his reasoning. Now, Kushihan, wait a minute. If we educate them, then we will continually return later and teach Naruto. Consider it, they may be obviously the saviors, the blonde Kage said. Kushina could not argue with either in their logics. And as it seemed, Naruto might nevertheless get education, just no longer when the twins might. With any luck the boy could forgive them. Sigh. Yeah, hopefully. Kushina took on ultimate observe her son and decided that might start the prophecy of selected heroes. It became said this very prophecy become given to the Sage of Six Paths, and now it'd begin proper here. This chain of activities could now not handiest have an effect on the ninja world, but additionally the whole thing with eyes, ears, a nose and a mouth. Okay. Let's do it, Kushina said with a brand new resolve. After all, would not you as a substitute be recognized for schooling heroes than education nobodies? Infant Naruto allow a tear drop down his eye. It become as if by means of divine intervention they had been telling the adults that they need to reconsider this decision. Oh well, this manner is higher. We get to look extra blood. Nowadays is a special day. Yes, it's far the 5th anniversary of the Kyuubi no Yoko's defeat. And yes, it is also the day of the Kyuubi festival. Even though the ones aren't the motives why today changed into so unique. No, these days is unique due to the fact it is the Uzumaki Namake's twins Naruto and Natsume's birthday. Actually, absolutely everyone in Konoha knows of today, and all of them attempt their first rate to present the twins' present. However, in case you did not catch the princesses outdoor on their pageant stroll, otherwise you were not at the event's guest list, then wager what you do not get the pride of giving them a present. So on these days many ask, who's this foreign boy that is always seen with the Namake's circle of relatives? A few try to pal him to get close to the own family, and some just desire they were him, but neither of those moves paintings. This baby, this blonde-haired, blue-eyed boy become none other than Naruto Uzumaki Namake's, Naruto and Natsume's identical triplet brother. A few say he become only a no-name that attire up like the family to get on their right facet, but up to now none recognize the true story. Ever considering Jiraiya and Minato made a public announcement. Approximately Naruto and Natsume being the children of legend, no person even knows a shred of proof as to who this blonde bastard is. Naruto slowly walked in the back of his family together with his head down. This is the second 1 year he can remember now not getting any popularity on his very own birthday. Nope, just a glad birthday Naruto from his dad and mom. They did not even name him son. However, it is not the worst element. No, it gets higher. While his sisters get heaps of items, bet how many he receives. You may say that considering that he become the oldest he ought to then get 2 times as many, proper. Nicely, no, it truly is wrong. No, you may assume your hands how many gives he get, the wide variety is 2. One is from his dad and one is from his mother, and this something his sisters capitalize on. They typically come to be pronouncing this, ha, Naruto and I baka, I instructed you, you aren't unique. That remark comes from Naruto, even as Natsume, the crimson-headed one that tries to extremely be friendly, makes it worse. She'll say, sorry, Naruto and I couldn't, however I guess you will must try once more next 12 months, perhaps then people will assume you're unique. Yup, lifestyles became superb. Chores, slightly getting leftovers, being the most punished due to the fact your sister blames stuff on you. Yeah, that is the existence. You simply couldn't ask for a higher one, doesn't. Remember, if I did ask due to the fact no person goes to supply it. Naruto concept to himself as he walked forward with his head down, for the reason that he wasn't truly looking where he changed into going. In the meanwhile he crashed into a person who become walking after his puppy dog. On effect, Naruto fell backwards and Minato and Kushina grew to become round to peer their oldest at the ground. Kushina, being a mom, rushed to her downed son and attempted to deduce if he become adequate. Naruto knew not to cry, on account that he discovered out the crying would not make it any better. Minato, locating out that his son was first-rate, became to the merchant. One Wasabi Biscuit stopped and apologized often. "Hi there, don't just stand there, take out your checkbook and offer to pay for my son's yukata. That aspect become very highly priced." Minato said obtrusive daggers at the man. The terrible service provider gulped and nodded earnestly, seeing the dirty yukata. "I'm extraordinarily sorry for hitting this child, Lord Fourth of Direction. I will pay for all the cleansing and damages for the yukata, and then I'm able to ship you every other one as compensation," he said pleadingly. However, inner he turned into freaking out. "I simply hit a boy, and no longer any boy, the fourth Hokage's supposed son," he notioned, sweating bullets. Humans all round had been having similar mind, many wondering if the boy changed into legitimately the fourth son. Many saw the resemblance, and had been bowled over at the identity of the boy. He wasn't well known, so he should not be that special. Naruto stood up and dusted himself off, even as his mom stared at him to see if he became nice. Locating he was, she smiled, but then she heard a chuckle at the back of her, which later was complete blown laughter. "Haha," observed Naruto and I. Naruto stated, with Natsumi joining in the snigger. People all round joined in as nicely to get at the twins' top side, whilst Naruto felt an invisible tear snake from his eyes. Kushina, not simply being the sort of brilliant choose of individual, heard his whole chortle and genuinely notion it was one in all pleasure. The laughter subsided and the circle of relatives walked off, with Minato querying Naruto on what turned into occurring. "Hiya, Naruto, how did you hit him? Were you now not searching in which you were going?" Minato asked in a fatherly tone. Naruto regarded over to the person he calls father, and replied his query truly, "No, father. I used to be lost in my very own idea, so I wasn't precisely paying attention to the street," Naruto stated. Minato notioned he was on the point where he could joke round together with his son, so he did. Properly then runt. "Subsequent time, look wherein you are going, or are you going to pay for a 100,000 Rio yukata that the man from before cannot probably have the funds for?" Minato stated with a tone that supposed problem. Naruto could not experience the shaggy dog story, so he did the only issue his dad stated he failed to like seeing him do. A straight tear dropped from his face and he stated, "No, I am sorry, father, but it changed into too overdue." The tear hit the floor and Minato glared at Naruto, getting serious. "What have I told you?" Approximately crying, Minato demanded, seeing his eldest son set free the waterworks. Kushina was too some distance ahead to observe what turned into taking place, and come to Naruto's rescue, and his sisters have been inside the same dilemma. "You," said Huff, "you do not like seeing your oldest son Huff cry." "That I one have to. Huff stay strong to protect my sisters," Naruto said, inhaling from strained periods. Minato had sufficient of the waterworks, and he were given pissed at Naruto. "Appearance forestall crying, or you will be for your room for every week once more," Minato stated, frowning at Naruto. Via now Naruto could not manage his tears and they saved sliding, making Minato matter. "Okay, since you don't need to prevent you're on your room for the relaxation of the night time, so don't come downstairs for your birthday. Preserve at it, and also you may not get any resents too," Minato yelled. Kushina grew to become round just to look Naruto cry out a no to his father, and his tears robotically prevent. "Come on, Dad, please. I don't like going to my room," Naruto said, tugging on the person's yukata, but Minato would not have it. Kushina tried to come back to Naruto's rescue, but the damage became already executed. "Dear, do not you believe you studied? You are being too tough on him. He is not as resilient as Naruto or Natsumi," she stated, making Naruto's inner turmoil boil over to a brand new point. Minato checked out Kushina and sighed, even as putting his foot down. "Kushi-chan, if he's the oldest and my handiest son, he wishes to learn how to enhance up. The boy will recover from it in approximately per week," Minato said, strolling off with Natsumi. The female gave Naruto a sad smile, as he always wept tears. Kushina stood Naruto up and took his hand earlier than not lengthy after she let pass, feeling him slightly tug far from him. She took this as a signal that he changed into right, so she walked ahead, leaving Naruto and Naruto to their own gadgets. "See, I told you, Naruto," she said, rubbing ionized salt-lined and lemon juice in his wounds. "Now not special," she stated, making Naruto begin to break. She walked ahead and Naruto just stood there staring at his own family, as considered one of his latent tears dripped from his face. Unfamous to Naruto, those would be some of the closing tears to ever grace his face, for after nowadays he could be a one-of-a-kind boy. Let's simply wish this transformation is for the better. Later that night, Minato felt kind of horrific for how he had dealt with Naruto earlier, so he determined to cease his punishment early and allow him pass right down to the birthday celebration. However unfamous to him this will handiest serve to make things worse. Naruto sat in a corner by myself and studying a photograph ebook while Naruto and Natsumi went around and conversed with their friends. These buddies were asking who was the blonde boy continually round them. Critically, how may want to you now not think this was our brother? Concept Natsumi as she explained that Naruto became her brother again. This simply caused them to thinking that he wasn't whatever special, and even though Natsumi didn't want to, she agreed Naruto wasn't all that unique. Both time surpassed, and ultimately it turned into time to get offers. Naruto become nearing the masses while Naruto simply reached her 87th box for her. Minato, seeing Naruto look down, decided to offer him his present. Naruto, taken aback seeing his father in the front of him, noticed he had a box wrapped up and giving it to him. Naruto told his father thank you as he ripped the paper open to discover some other container. He opened it excitedly, simplest appear that it turned into a silly toad fashion pockets. Naruto, being the grateful infant he turned into, instructed his father thanks despite the fact that he concept the gift changed into genuinely lousy. Kushina got here up after him and gave him a barely larger container, and Naruto unwrapped this one with slightly greater gusto. Her gifts did continually seem higher than his dad's anyhow. As Naruto were given to the field, he observed it became the same size as the one his dad got him. Fearing the worst, Naruto opened it hoping for something one of a kind, most effective, to sigh in his head at the sheer ludicrousness of his mom. It became the exact same frog pockets. But the most effective difference changed into this one had a few real payments interior of it. Naruto closed his eyes and did his infamous huge fake grin while thanking his mother. In honesty, Naruto concept each presents to be ultimate minute items, and actually he turned into barely incorrect. No strive closing 2D, they literally sold those at the equal stand even as they were out strolling, not noticing they both sold the equal issue. The simplest difference turned into Kushina put a chunk more concept into hers, stuffing a meager amount of money internal of it. Outstanding, another rotten year of me not being unique sufficient. Naruto notion along with his inner turmoil raising into crucial degrees, simply one slight push within the incorrect route, and he could snap. Nicely, as a minimum I am still the inheritor to each clans. At the least they cannot do away with my birthright. I can ultimately start education subsequent year as my right. In the event that they did take it though nicely, I don't sincerely recognize what I do. Naruto notion, each person I have a completely unique present that is going for both of my expensive daughters, the saviors of this global. Minato said with absolutely everyone cheering before letting it die down as he went up to his ladies. He put on familiar jewelry, one on every girl's finger. Naruto questioned why those earrings appeared so familiar, however his query was answered with the aid of Minato's next declaration. I provide you with Naruto, the only inheritor to the Namikaze extended family, and Natsumi, the inheritor to the Uzumaki circle of relatives, Minato said with loud cheering, and the crowd broke out in screams. Kushina herself changed into extraordinarily proud. In reality she was too proud, so she forgot her oldest baby who become within the corner wide-eyed. Those have been mine. He told me that handiest I can be the inheritor on the grounds that I used to be the oldest, and it was my birthright, my line, my right of age and mine alone. So why did he simply give it to my sisters? Naruto idea tearing up slowly. He abruptly heard many voices in his head on the equal time pushing his grief higher. Kill yourself, boy. Your father would not love you. Hasi boy, your mom hates you. You are a failure. You're no longer special. Humph, even to your very own parents' eyes you're nothing. A no one. Cross one, stick yourself in the coronary heart. Leap off a cliff. Yet really is proper, jump off a cliff and be a part of the other global your parents stated all useless people visit, the voices said constantly. Naruto couldn't take it anymore and he ran out the side door of the house that become left open. He ran right past the guards and as much as the Hokage face mountain, he stored going. He could not appearance return now. If he did he became positive something horrific would happen to him. Although being 4 he didn't question jogging along with his head down and tears in his eyes. He simply saved going till he turned into knocked unconscious by way of multiple low tree branches. He could stay sprawled out like that until break of day, 8 a.m. Naruto awakened and seemed round. He saw that he became in his special playground as he known as it. Here he might come every morning at around 7 a.m. to approximately 9 a.m. earlier than certainly one of his dad and mom discovered him and informed him no longer to go away without permission. It become his birthday the day prior to this, and as a 5-year vintage he would be off the hook for the relaxation of the day. Then however he turned into reminded of the day gone by's events, and people identical voices came returned. Why stay, boy, you are nearly dead to them. Just soar off the cliff beforehand of you and be accomplished with it, they said, making Naruto area towards the cliff. He seemed over it, and shook his head looking to improve his will, but it simply would not be. As a whole lot as I do not like my dilemma, I don't need to die. I will still get my parents to well known me as special, Naruto idea to himself. He became doing good preventing the urges, but the voice got here lower back, and this time using him insane to just quit his struggling. He was too a long way long gone already, and he soon found out if he did die no person might actually omit him. They had grieved for a day, after which after a while they had get over it. See, you are questioning it, so it should be true. Why don't you simply jump? That manner you may see if your parents sincerely care, it stated, causing Naruto to cry a few tears at the reality in the back of the phrases. No one could leave out him, a no person, so by using leaping he would simply unfasten himself from his restrictive cage and be performed with it. God, it would be so easy. All he needed today changed into take a step in addition, after which it would all be over. Simply one step and no more blaming him unjustly, or stupid weak lengthy punishments. As Naruto's despair skyrocketed, he began putting one foot ahead subconsciously, and shortly he might lose his balance and fall forward. Just as his mental obstacles had weakened enough for him to go through with it, the ground beneath him loosely fell apart, making Naruto and part of the cliff fall down the again aspect of the Kagestone mountain, and right into an unusual ravine. I am falling. Am I going to die? Naruto thought as he fell through the ground and closer to the ground. Simply as his body becomes sincerely going to splatter towards the hard granite floors, a few godly force stopped his fall, inflicting Naruto to open his eyes. I fell from up excessive, so am I dead? Nicely, I am not touching the floor, so maybe I have become a ghost? He concept to himself. Naruto appeared and observed he wasn't able to see through his skin, just like the transparent ghosts in his story books. Okay, not a ghost, and probably not lifeless, so why have not I hit the floor but? Naruto asked himself, looking up at what become preventing his fall. The answer turned into excellent, and Naruto knew that something this entity, anything this being was, that turned into preserving him become some form of otherworldly pressure. Naruto ought to almost feel the air of secrecy that the entity exuded, and he becomes sure that this being changed into exquisite effective. The being protecting Naruto became ghastly and looked like the Shinigami, years in the past, but unusually it looks not anything like him. In which had been the pink horns? Where became that pale red face that reeked of demise? This being genuinely did not have them. No, in truth this being glowed a vibrant blue and had no specific body. For eyes it had azure glowing pools of light that had a radiance that would appeal to any being into them. You couldn't virtually see within the cave, however the being did not have a head. In reality it regarded find it irresistible changed into sporting a hood that most effective showed its eyes. The body become the identical manner as the entity floated above the floor. He become preserving Naruto with an extraordinary blue arm that you may see via, yet you couldn't. All around the frame of this being have been trillions, upon quadrillions of lights floating round in no unique style. The entity touched Naruto's head along with his different arm, and instantly Naruto went huge-eyed. Wow, I get it now, Naruto stated, jumping out of the semi-huge blue hand. You're the component answerable for all of it. You are God, are not you, you're the writer, Naruto stated, seeing the entity do a semi-nod. It then snapped the two blue arms connected to the arm that was once maintaining Naruto. Around Naruto and the entity the cave lit up, and he saw. Properly he noticed the universe, however he didn't comprehend it yet. Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto. I'm a being of many names, Allah, Buddha, Jacob, Elohim, Kami, Father, or even God. You may name me the call I supply myself, call me the author. The entity stated in a voice that turned into neither masculine nor feminine. Naruto ought to only nod dumbly as he stared on the motive he and everything in life turned into here. Naruto, my boy, I've simply completed looking your small life, and then I need you to recognize that regardless of your mother and father, and everybody else, you're special. You simply don't know it yet, but you will. You're one of the children of prophecy, the creator stated, inflicting Naruto to have a mini coronary heart attack at this revelation. The being of introduction stated he was the selected infant. Properly that turned into awesome. Concentrate, my boy, for I must leave to visit every other. Remember, after this, you're special, and this room you notice earlier than you is called Alpha Top A. Or as your people are aware of it, this is the universe, the author said, making Naruto cross wide-eyed. Those lighting earlier then, they weren't ordinary lighting, they were stars. The writer turned into actually the walking universe. However, if he become what would show up if Naruto hit a celeb, as Naruto tried to touch a celeb. No longer understanding that it became the very sun within the sky, the writer stopped him. I wouldn't do this, my boy, that is you are son, positioned it out, and that I might not be capable of recreate some other for some time, so you'll unknowing doom every person, the writer stated, preventing Naruto in his tracks. As I said earlier, you are unique. How do you observed you unconsciously located me? Who do you believe you studied made the Uzumaki god? Who do you suspect made him tell you to go to the cliff? It changed into I, the author, and now it is time to provide you your belated birthday present, the entity said, causing Naruto to slightly cry. Toddler, do now not cry. It pains me to see my own advent in such unhappiness, and I'm sorry for the way things are going up to now. However, I'm right here to make you more potent due to the fact it's miles going to get an entire lot worse, the writer stated whilst Naruto stopped crying and regarded down. Naruto became reeled into a hug by glowing blue arms that comforted him, giving him serene thoughts. Now my toddler, earlier than I'm going here, take my hand, and I shall bestow upon you my wonders. You shall receive the powers that belong to a now extinct warrior race, as your birthright and as your unfastened present as savior of the sector. I shall bestow upon you a special skill with a purpose to release deep inside you in time. I'm very certain you may get education these days, much like your good-sized other. In fact, the education simply arrived in Konoha. I must go to the opposite savior, please hurry, the creator stated, preserving out the blue glowing hand. Naruto took his hand and fainted as an inflow of facts hit him. He noticed several women and men wearing black shahakusho wielding swords with large strength. These blades used an energy unlike chakra, but Naruto changed into certain when he used it they would radiate with pure chakra. He saw them all fighting massive monsters with white masks, but one word that maximum of them said stuck out to him. What is a bankai? He idea falling rapid asleep. Sure, sleep my infant, for you'll need your electricity to save the world. You now have the power to create. I'm hoping you may use it to store the sector, because it's far going to get loads more difficult from right here on out. Higher, hurry to the opposite savior. However, first permit me drop Naruto boy off on the floor. The author concept floating up with Naruto drowsing in the glowing hands. As he set Naruto down, a typical sword seemed at the back of him, making the author sigh. And now it starts, properly. I'm hoping that is enough to stave off that evil. In any other case, my whole advent, my universe is carried out for now I need to head off to the second one's savior and bestow upon them their birthright, even though they will end up taking a darker route in existence, the creator said with a sigh. With that, the being just vanished into nothingness, and Naruto slowly awakened to look a pair of unusual sandals status over him. His shakily appeared up to see a graying elderly man carrying samurai armor observe him. Naruto smirked before letting darkness embrace him once more, and the vintage guy gazed at Naruto. This kid, where did he come from? All proof says he just got here from that gorge. May want to he be the only that fortune teller informed me to teach. He has blonde hair and blue eyes, and I meet him by way of a strange gorge. Maybe I shall train him. The person, although at the same time as leaning Naruto in opposition to a tree and putting in an area to make a few outside tea. With the author, other selected savoir, however, why pick me? Why no longer my other sibling? Why am I destined to save the world? A voice said, standing at the back of the author. The author itself became now read a compliment, the air of secrecy of the person in front of him. You were made due to the want that need become the one to remove you ancestor earlier than she will come again and ruin the sector. You should, or it'll be the quit. Listen, my toddler. Take my hand and I shall bestow upon you all the strength you may ever want. I recognize you'll stroll a dark direction, however make sure to protect your massive different adequate. You two are my remaining in to forestall her, the entity said, accomplishing out with a red arm. The individual in front of the entity contemplated before taking the being's hand, and that they have been packed with know-how the previously didn't have. Human beings have been transferring the factors as if they have been one with them. 4 races of humans that desperately had to unite below one banner, and yet they did finally. They breathed hearth like most ninja do. They willed water, made the very earth disintegrate, even made the air subject to their will. Yet one of these caught out to the character. This man or woman could do it all and possibly greater. What's an avatar? The individual said, falling out. The entity caught his different toddler earlier than they could hit the bloodless tough tatami mat. The writer laid them down lightly and spoke, "Now, be correct, my toddler, for now you have been bestowed a present similar to your helper. One has with form manipulation that puts all others to shame, and the alternative has elemental manipulation that even the gods couldn't dream of. You two are my delight and joy. My youngsters, now move and observe your personal paths. Though you can both emerge as hating your region of origins or even your innermost origins, you shall come to just accept them, and in due time forgive them. However, for now my angels rest, and I shall cope with thee till it's your turn to take care of something for me," the creator said, vanishing from the kid's room. Simply, what is going on? Why is the author of Even the Gods doing this stuff? And what are those threats the chosen must deal with? One factor is for positive, things will clearly get more difficult from here on out. Lower. Back with Naruto. Naruto woke up to the scent of jasmine tea with a hint of honeydew. He appeared around and observed the elderly samurai guy from earlier than sitting in the front of him sipping tea, along with his eyes closed. Unusual Naruto concept earlier than seeking to slip away. However, the man spoke without even establishing his eyes. He could inform through the exchange in Naruto's breathing that the boy had woke up. "And in which are you going, my young friend? Do you no longer wish to drink your cup of tea?" The man said, "Speak me to Naruto." The blonde whirled around to see the man still sitting together with his eyes closed, so he turned into "Speak me" to himself. With that in mind, Naruto attempted to leave again, best for the man to prevent him another time, this time with the equal verbal request fro before. "Are you sure you don't want any tea, my blonde buddy? From seeing you earlier expression, you seemed in a troubled emotional kingdom. Tea will calm your mind," the man said, speaking directly to Naruto. "The tea is without delay to the proper of you. Take a sip and allow the strength within you drift peacefully," the person stated once more. Naruto becomes shocked, thinking the person turned into blind. However, he become established wrong while the stranger opened his left eye and looked earlier than last at once more. Naruto sensed that the person turned into very smart, so he did as asked and took a sip from the tea. As he did, he ought to pretty actually feel a weight go away his thoughts and chest, and he at ease. See, tea makes it better. My young pal, I have a query for you. Properly surely too, and I can ask them separately. Is this adequate?" he said at the same time as taking a sluggish sip of his very own tea. "Certain. Yeah, I am adequate with that, mister," Naruto said, leaving it out for the man to finish. "Please, lad, name me Mifune," he said, making Naruto loosen up. "So Mifune-san, what could you want to ask me?" Naruto requested him, looking to see if this man changed into a few type of rapist or something. Because if he was, his mother taught him to run and loudly scream for assist. "First, I will ask you a private query, blonde baby. Would your call appear to be Naruto Uzumaki?" Mifune requested, seeking to see if that fortune teller became accurate. Naruto looked at Mifune skeptically before nodding, which Mifune smiled at. "True. And assuming you got here from out of that gorge, did you have got that sword earlier than you went down there?" Inflicting Naruto to go huge-eyed. "What sword?" he thought, searching around, surprised to peer a weapon like that leaning on a tree next to him. Naruto became actually shocked, as he did not have whatever to say on that. "You don't want to answer any greater, Uzumaki-san. I have my solution. However, now answer me every other question. Could you like me to educate you inside the way of now, not simplest the sword, however additionally the scrolls left interior of the sleeve of your blouse?" Mifune requested, seeing Naruto look and clutch the scroll too. "What this Uchiken and Uchi no Mai, Naruto idea, universe fist, and dance of the universe." Naruto concept over the query and realized that the creator ought to have slipped him the sword and scrolls on the grounds that they had been all universe themed. Query was why. However, then he realized that I used to be virtually because he needed to store the sector. So with that, Naruto knew his parents wouldn't be training him every time soon, considering that he became not the inheritor, and he couldn't in reality research sword strategies on my own. Plus he had nowhere to train without prying eyes. Yup, he made up his mind. "Mifune-sensei, I thank you for this humble opportunity. When might also we start?" Naruto asked, seeing his sensei nudge him towards a slip of paper that a strange seal on it. "Teleport, Naruto-san. Around the sector in the numerous nations there are some of those teleport slips of paper that high magnificence individuals along with myself used to journey lengthy distance in short time. Today I will assist you release your chakra, and you then shall learn to push it into this papware so you can teleport to and from the Iron United States of America with none suspicion. For now, permit start lesson 1, Mifune said, sitting down in a meditative pose. "Chakra is the essence that each one dwelling matter supply off constantly no matter what, so bet what the entirety living You, me, the trees, even that colony of ants behind you own chakra, and it grows with enjoy and time. Present-day lesson is a basic ninja and samurai talent, and that is drawing out your chakra and learning to direct it into those 12 hand signs and symptoms, Mifune said while Naruto felt something seem and he felt Mifune's strength. It is staggering you could nonetheless stand with the quantity of chakra I'm placing out, however I am only placing out approximately 5%. Now watch carefully, these are the 12 hand signs and symptoms and how to draw out chakra. Most beginners shape the ram sign, after which try to sense a pull of their intestine, but with enjoy you'll not need to try this, so now you strive, Mifune said, showing Naruto the ram sign. Naruto accidentally put his left hand above his right, however Mifune fast corrected him and Naruto focused deep within him. He felt a huge pull and the calming but strongly embracive air of secrecy extrude from himself. This boy, in a single attempt, no longer best unlocked it, however. Mifune gaped as he felt Naruto get closer and towards, calling out his chakra, and Mifune may want to truly say his electricity had a totally comforting feeling to it. With Sasuke Uchiha 2 hours later. Now Sasuke, since you did so well unlocking your chakra and considering that you have so awesome manage, I think I shall educate you your first method. Name it the Uchiha ceremony of passage if you will, but studying this technique can help you earn the potential to wear our insignia proudly to your returned. Watch, for I shall demonstrate once, after which my little brother I need you to strive, a raven-haired teen said whilst his brown-haired father stood quietly in the back of him. The child Sasuke nodded, seeing his brother go through numerous hand seals at a tempo sluggish enough for Sasuke to observe, even though it wasn't his fast velocity, nor did he put a whole lot chakra into his jutsu. The result was still superb. Tora Saru I Ashitora, fireplace style. Fireball Jutsu. Itachi inhaled a huge gallon of air before building up the chakra in his chest for an extraordinary burst of energy. Then the usage of fire manipulation, he pushed the flame chakra in his throat earlier than igniting it at the pinnacle of his throat. Sasuke watched as his brother exhaled the flame the dimensions of a table. The non-stop flame kept going till Itachi cut his chakra float, finishing the method. Now, do not get disenchanted if you reduce to rubble the... Itachi's words died in his mouth when he noticed what Sasuke changed into doing. Sasuke flew through hand seals earlier than stopping on Tora. The speed became effortlessly excessive genin borderline Chunin speed, and that deadly accuracy. Itachi just knew his brother might pull the jutsu off when he noticed that. Tora Saru I Ashitora, fireplace style. Fireplace ball jutsu. Sasuke's fireplace ball turned into drastically larger than Itachi's youngster-length flame ball. Even though Itachi simplest put 1/10 of his chakra into the attack, it nevertheless paled as he sensed that Sasuke put the exact same quantity as him into the fireplace ball. He knew Sasuke had 1 1/3 the chakra he did, so Sasuke handiest placed 1/3 of his energy into the attack. Still, the result became great. Sasuke spat out a resident-sized fireball which made Itachi seem like the moon as compared to the earth. Fugaku Uchiha, whom turned into each of the brothers' father, changed into no longer most effective. Impressed but stunned that his younger son turned into so in music with fire manipulation to that diploma. Certain there was pretty lots nose-shape manipulation to the fireball jutsu, however nevertheless the truth that a 5-12 months vintage can place 1/3 his personal strength into an attack and it be drastically bigger than his oldest was notable. This boy become a prodigy, and he become shaping as much as be better than Itachi. Sasuke cut the go with the flow of chakra to his assault, and the jutsu ended with him huffing out in exhaustion, a small wisp of smoke coming from his mouth as he accrued his energy once more. Sasuke, that become amazing, you absolutely mastered. Itachi turned into cut off through Sasuke's hand, going up. No, and as you may see my manage become deplorable. I positioned more chakra in than I desired, so my ball got here out larger than yours. No, I believe in greater attempts I will master this method, Sasuke said, reading his faults. Itachi's eyes went up in marvel. He easily talked about his very own mistakes, and they have been all of the identical ones Itachi himself changed into going to mention. Fugaku to changed into inspired, however his amazement rose whilst he saw his boy going for the hand seals once more. Tora Saru I Ashitora, fireplace fashion. Fireball jutsu. This time Sasuke installed the proper amount of chakra and he breathed out a ball of chakra that was slightly larger than Itachi's. 1/6 this time. He mastered a C-rank jutsu in tries. Itachi thought whilst Fugaku was seeing money baggage and project scrolls in his eyes. this boy could truly carry the Uchiha return to the top of its life cycle, and he should even assist inside the rebellion. Those darkish thoughts laced Fugaku's thoughts, unaware of the events to spread in 3 years. Sasuke this time were given an experience for his chakra before collecting it, similar to he did the previous 2 times. His manage shot up rapidly, so of root now the want for seals has ended up nearly moot. With that during thoughts, Sasuke carefully formed his chakra earlier than igniting it at the pinnacle of his throat. He then inhaled life-maintaining oxygen before on the point of exhale. Itachi and Fugaku had miniature heart assaults at what Sasuke became doing, but for Fugaku he quickly saw extra money in Project Scroll's fire fashion. Fireball Jutsu. Sasuke exhaled a fireball that changed into slightly smaller than Itachi's first one, yet this one had greater flare and warmth to it. Itachi fainted while Fugaku gave a hearty snigger. Oh yes, his plans could be ideal. All he want do is corrupt Sasuke's thoughts, and he has a mini weapon which can call for what he needs completed. Sasuke reduced the go with the flow of chakra to his approach, earlier than falling again whilst questioning, is that this the volume of my power? No, it is not. I want to refine it and enhance my control, and then I'm able to make my goals come true, Sasuke idea to himself. Fugaku stuck his more youthful son earlier than he hit the floor and held him while going over to his oldest. He never saw the air slightly distort in the back of him, nor did he see the dainty black fog that seemed to vanish like cotton sweet. Naruto. 10 minutes later, Naruto had educated for a while, and properly his control of his chakra changed into no longer in which he desired it to be. However, strangely, he felt very in music along with his chakra, but he summed it up to it being great or weak. That was no longer the case, as he soon found out. He changed into doing things that he heard Ninja and Eve Mifune-sensei say had been almost impossible. His shape manipulation turned into amazing for all people, particularly a child his age who simply unlocked his chakra that day. Naruto just finished the use of his chakra to spell out his call. His chakra had a mild inexperienced tint to it as Naruto wrote his call, but it soon went lower back to its default blue. Naruto's name shone brightly above Mifune's head, and Naruto laughed as his instructor's mouth simply went decrease and lower. This youngster is so young, yet he can do shape manipulation like he's had years of exercise. Guy, simply recognize he's the one I am speculated to educate. Nicely, at least he can't ship chakra into the tag. That way we will paintings on his manage returned within the Iron United States of America. All he has to do is disguise a tag in his room and poof, smooth get entry to backward and forward every vicinity. Mifune idea, seeing his pupil play around along with his chakra. Adequate Naruto. It is enough for nowadays. Relaxation up, and the following day bear in mind what I instructed you. At 9 at the dot, push chakra into the slip of paper and it will teleport you to the Iron USA for more education. If your dad and mom ask, just tell them you're playing for a while, and in the event that they do not consider you, the seal has a sensor that tells when overseas chakra is entering your room. We can just ship you back and boom, no suspicion. Now bear in mind we moved from 9 to 7, we're given it. Mifune stated, packing up his tea kit. Sure, Mifune-sensei. Got you loud and clean. I shall see you the following day, Naruto said, choosing up his blade. He was going to take it and the scrolls home, but Mifune stopped him. Wait, Naruto. I recognize you simply were given the sword and scrolls, however let me take them. You may get mad, but I have a great purpose. See, in case your parents see you with them they will ask questions, and also you don't need that, do you? Mifune stated, seeing Naruto sock his head correct. Don't worry, you have got my phrase as a samurai that not anything awful shall manifest in your scrolls or your sword, and I promise no person apart from you shall ever view the scroll. Mifune said, bowing to Naruto. Naruto bowed back to his sensei before searching at the sun. Mifune taught him to examine to time of day simply off of the area of the solar, and Naruto approximated that it became 10:20. Yup, his parents were going to be mad. By Mifune-sensei, see you tomorrow, Naruto said, strolling off with the tag in his hand. As he went over the horizon, Mifune quietly thought to himself, that boy, he'll change the ninja world. I just understand it could be in a very good manner. He idea earlier than pushing chakra into the tag and teleporting to the Iron Country. For the closing 2 years many stuff have befell around the ninja global and additionally the actual world. The Iron Country became strictly impartial to the relaxation of the arena. Kumo tried to get an Uzumaki, however failed miserably. However, that's now not all. In Konoha especially, a few very horrific things, or correct from a positive perspective, have came about. Those closing 2 years, the Namikaze Uzumaki triplets all started out the academy. Their daughters in particular got extra training from their mother and father even as Naruto was left to his personal gadgets. Naruto would but now not simply lay down like a canine and surrender. No, he has been spending those remaining years going from side to side the iron United States of America for sword training and combating education. He has nearly turned out to be professional in his fashion, but, well, it usually wasn't like that. Flash again. A panting Naruto sat and Mifune sheathed his sword again. This would make 19 attempts these days simply to get his draw accelerate, and there were a few instances where he become clearly too slow, giving him many cuts on his torso and arms. The medics would of course heal him before he went domestic, but truly this schooling become taking simply too lengthy. Ugh, I have tried everything with you, but it appears I can't teach you as I did my 5 elite samurai, Mifune said even as walking away. He left Naruto there, and the boy got sad wondering he wasn't special enough to gain knowledge of like an elite, so obviously he went to the eating corridor to devour his problems away. He opened the kitchen door and got some crazy concepts to get meals. Hiya! He yelled, drawing his sword with professional pace. The end cut open the on-the-spot ramen packet, and the noodles all smartly fell into the bowl in excellent neat rows. Naruto then jumped 10 toes into the air and started whirling round at superb excessive speeds, kicking all of the salt and spice boxes as it should be, make every drop a pinch of it into the bowl. Naruto then fell to the ground and started slicing parsley at speeds rivaling the notable Mifune himself. As he did all this, he slightly noticed Mifune standing there wide-eyed and gaping at the show that the 5-year vintage become showing. Naruto grew to look Mifune and commenced slicing slower as he and Mifune stared at one another. Naruto chopped slower and slower until he just got here to a stop and requested Mifune a query. What? He stated in surprise, hoping his master did not see all that. Oh my god, thrilling, Mifune stated in concept on the same time. Mifune simply turned to go away before whirling around and dealing with Naruto one last time. I just idea you want to realize that there was particularly salted red meat onigiri at the pinnacle shelf, Mifune said, strolling away slowly, but he speedy concealed at the back of the door as he heard Naruto rush for the pinnacle shelf. Mifune then came lower back inside the open to look Naruto throw the meat into the air earlier, than leaping up and quick drawing his sword faster than Mifune may want to see. He then sliced the sealed meat open and fast chopped the bits into ramen-sized proportions before kicking them into the bowl. Mifune made himself referred to as he checked out Naruto sticking to the wall along with his chakra. How did you arise there? Mifune requested, genuinely stressed how this 5-year-old boy could soar 10 feet into the air and persist with the ceiling at the same time as doing a simple chakra manage exercise. And on top of that draw his sword with know how handiest masters know, then after all that split the contents at speeds rivaling his personal and allow them to fall right into a vat of meals. It changed into thoughts boggling. I do not know, I imply I just saw what I desired to do and I did it, Naruto stated sheepishly, rubbing his head. Mifune's eyes almost blew out their sockets. This boy has such awesome visualization that he can assume up some actions after which now not only that but make them occur. Ludicrous. Yet he has executed it without problems, and I now see how he learns, Mifune thought while searching at Naruto, after which to the food. You train tougher when food is concerned. Thrilling. Come with me, Mifune said, ushering Naruto outdoor. They walked for some time until they reached an area with a small pool and plenty of stones that appeared like sword fighting poses. This vicinity changed into very atypical certainly. Naruto tried to take a dip within the pool, but Mifune tugged him, causing him to forestall in mid-soar. Naruto, we do now not swim around in the sacred pool of tears, he stated, making Naruto lower back up and start capturing off many apologies. Do you already know what this area is? Mifune requested, seeing Naruto shake his head negatively. That is where the first actual samurai discovered to forge blades and to fight with the manner of the sword or kendo. That is the birth area of sword fight, he said, making Naruto almost choke on his air. The blonde then seemed around and noticed many ghostly warriors schooling, drawing swords, hacking, slashing, ducking, preventing with the tsuba. This becomes so surreal. Mifune jumped high into the air and landed on a boulder slab. Do you need to examine kendo? He yelled to Naruto. Yeah, Naruto said, surprised. Then I'm your grasp. Mifune spoke back, returned with more intensity than the primary time. Adequate, Naruto said as he started sniffling. This turned into the primary man or woman to clearly try and help, and now he is coaching him the way of the sword. Do not cry, Mifune stated, with Naruto replying good enough. Naruto ultimately stopped crying and Mifune lead him to a grassy area with little to no snow, while cognizance on kendo. While you concentrate. You stink, Mifune began making Naruto deflate. However, I realize you are a child so that you probably like games still. I cannot teach you, I have skilled my 5 elites. Instead I can educate you with those. Mifune said, keeping out specific food dishes and diverse ramen bowls. So, you will make our schooling a game? Naruto said / requested excitedly. With Mifune nodding, while you have got been educated then you could eat, Mifune stated, ingesting a dumpling with his chopsticks. Later, Naruto became doing take a seat on a tree even as Mifune stared with a bowl of dumplings. Naruto became promised he may want to get a toy if he may want to correctly end 200 sit in a minute, and bet what he did. Now he turned into nonetheless going, however unfortunately gravity took its toll in the department the two had been sitting on snapped from their blended weight. Naruto fell catching the dumpling bowl and permitting the sweat treats to fall in. But the free branch snapped once more and he hit the floor with Mifune having to catch the bowl and dumping together with his sword. Month later, Naruto's training turned into going properly. He has almost gotten the basics in the back of kendo down, and with education he should master it. He turned into now starting to lean the Uchinomai, but first his grasp gave him a ramen bowl and he became blindfolded. Naruto has found out to feel human beings by means of sending out a pulse of chakra that wraps round them, giving him an actual shape and size of the whole lot happening with the person, looks, heartbeat, motions, emotions, and he calls this potential Kanzen Kenshi, complete sensory. So despite the fact that he turned into blindfolded he may want to nevertheless see, even though he couldn't see. So as Mifune sensei exceeded him the ramen bowl, Naruto took it, and without delay jumped back. He attempted to take a chunk, but Mifune changed into extra skilled than he turned into. The samurai quickly slashed to the left of Naruto with a wood sword, but the blonde blocked it. Mifune used extra speed to appear to the proper and provide an upward slash, but Naruto blocked with one hand once more. However, Mifune tripped the boy up, inflicting him to fall from losing his balance. The bowl hit the floor, its contents slowly leaking into the grass. In no way lose your stability. Take into account that my disciple, Mifune stated, supporting Naruto up 2 months later. Naruto has ended up an expert at kendo, and now he started out getting the fundamentals for the Uchinomai down. The primary dance changed into Nagaraboshi no Mai, dance of the taking pictures big name. Naruto begins with each his legs bent at 90 tiers and parallel. He then speeds up ahead at a rapid pace, aiming for the 2 joints inside the arm that permit motion of the forearm, or he can intention for the leg joints. He either strikes them with a punch or slashes them along with his sword, stopping movement. Once this has happened he can hit the center of the sun plexus, knocking the enemy of stability, and purpose them to fly again. To this point he can hit one in every of Mifune's joints, however he is a great deal too sluggish to hit the opposite in time, so the swordsman always counters. Currently Mifune had a dumpling in his hand and he changed into retaining it, far from Naruto, who saved trying to strike his joints rapidly and accurately. Though the samurai hasn't seemed within the scroll, it doesn't imply he doesn't recognize the way to prepare and train Naruto on how to obtain each level. Naruto swiped furiously as he saved trying to get the dumpling, and this time he grazed Mifune's proper arm joint. He then unexpectedly hit his left arm, making Mifune smirk at the same time as Naruto found out the secret. So speed and aggression like a tiger, the boy thought, continuing to graze Mifune, till in the end he could begin landing stable hits. 3 months later, Naruto's kendo education has gotten better, and now his understanding is slowly getting higher and higher. In a few years he could be a master like his teacher earlier than him. He has discovered to correctly provoke the Nagaraboshi no Mai, and he can now pull the technique off 2 tense instances. His Kanzen Kenshi is getting higher, and he can use it faster and similarly than earlier than. He has additionally advanced a brand new circulate called Taido, multi-movement / excessive speed motion. Naruto pulls this off by way of pushing chakra from his feet. Yeah, you can say it truly is ordinary velocity, but see, Naruto can circulate at speeds rivaling Shunshin doing this move. The further back he shoots it, the fast and further he's going to pass. Handiest he can try this because the shape manipulation and strain would kill pretty much everybody else. Mifune is currently training him to instinctively change the guidelines of the chakra and the periods he can pass them in. To rectify his troubles he's doing muscle-up push-ups over a warm flame. It trains his center to take heat and ache, and also it makes him instinctively use Taido to get out of damage. he became promised a strange movement determined for his hard work. But Naruto noticed the motion parent was one in every of him. He smiled as he persevered, pushing quicker and quicker till he looked like small blurs. Mifune sat proudly watching his student grow stronger. The boy become like a sponge. 6 months later, Naruto's birthday become the day prior to this, and he honestly hated it. His mother were given him rubber shuriken and his dad forgot, so he ran/teleported to the closest store and acquired the first element he noticed. Bet what he did better this 12 months. He were given Naruto a gold board, which became virtually vain with rubber shuriken. The twins commenced their education and Naruto had nothing to accomplish that he teleported to the Iron United States, where they threw him a private birthday party. He were given many items, but now he desired to teach. His Kenzen Kenshi has gotten a good deal higher. He can now sense everything in a 2-mile radius, and also he can use it longer and faster. His Kendo slightly got higher, making him a medium professional. However, he nonetheless had a long way to head before he became a grasp. His Taido has additionally progressed, in which the motion surely looks as if Chunin speed, borderline Jounin speed, but Naruto uses up way to an awful lot chakra the use of it, so he's schooling to boom his chakra, lower the amount required, and additionally growing the speed. His use of Nagaraboshi no Mai has massively progressed to in which he can hit Mifune with it within 2 seconds, however he still misses strikes now and again. Additionally, his ultimate palm thrust to the belly is simply too weak and lacks energy and balance behind it to knock an enemy off balance. Naruto started out learning Nizanai Suki, second transition moon. The manner to educate on this one became stability. Naruto hits a stationary enemy inside the chest with enough pressure to prevent motion. Then, like the moon, he rotates across the character even as spinning himself and hitting diverse elements of the frame to make blood rush too excessive or too low. He then can use gravity to make the character fall returned with only a breath. To teach his stability to get step 1 better, and the second step discovered became with the aid of him standing on a mountain at the same time as protecting many plates and items on his body without using chakra. He has already nearly fallen 12 times, however he is beginning to get the grasp of it. 4 months later, Naruto has started out to master the Nagaraboshi no Mai and began ideal the Nizanai Suki. But with the Nizanai Suki he can't quite get Mifune's blood to all glide in the proper direction. He can slightly hold off Mifune going at 25% of his strength, however it nonetheless is not sufficient. Naruto's Taido has advanced highly, however it nonetheless isn't prepared for combat. But his Kenzen Kenshi is. His Kendo is now getting even better, and he can nearly sense him mastering it, increasingly. Proper now he has began gaining knowledge of his very last bloodline, sword-style movement. Its miles called Tsugi no Mai Kuruzu, final dance Black Vortex. Naruto runs across the enemy so speedy that any chakra the use is automatically sucked up and shot into the sky. He then cuts nearly every part of the body or breaks almost each bone possible, causing confusion and death in much less than 10 seconds. Right now he is missing the rate to efficiently pull the method, and additionally he doesn't have the manage to preserve the speed or to hit the frame successfully. To restoration this trouble Naruto has been doing survival schooling in the woods with weighted apparel. He has 50 factors on his complete body, at the same time as Mifune has none. It took him 2 months of training to get his speed up to par, and now he is making an attempt to reach the kettle pot filled along with his favorite ramen whilst blindfolded. Naruto checked left and proper earlier than going for walks out to the pot, however he could not feel Mifune, who became hiding at the back of a chakra barrier which they located. He has no manner to get round. Handiest the Hyuga could see one or even probably get around it. But he has achieved right and comfort despite the fact that he is not a Hyuga. He got the ramen quick, however Mifune appeared behind him strolling, and Naruto become compelled to take a slightly painful his to his torso, however he shook it off. Mifune gave one to his center, however he changed into geared up, and he kicked the sword away with his foot before unsheathing his sword and blockading a aspect scale back to his left arm. He then returned flipped, and tried to eat whilst curled, however he still hasn't perfected his stability, so he paid the price when Mifune tugged his leg and he fell, releasing the ramen bowl. Mifune caught the ramen and then he slurped the whole thing down whilst guffawing at Naruto. Naruto lunged at him and Mifune hit him, while he become nevertheless in mid-air on account that Naruto hasn't found out to actively use his middle of gravity to trade his aerial direction. Naruto gave up whilst Mifune laughed and slurped the ramen juice. No toy this time. However, you do get advice, never neglect. You are on top of things of your middle of gravity. use that to your advantage, Mifune said with Naruto sighing. 6 months later, Naruto has now mastered with Nagaraboshi no Mai and his Nizanai Suki is coming alongside well. He can now control where he directs his fighter's blood to as shown on a samurai dummy while he direct all the blood in his mind to visit his throat. Man wished acupuncture therapy to restoration his trouble. Naruto has perfected his Kenzen Kenshi to the point where he can ship out a lighter pulse that hits a goal and spreads out proportionally by way of the target's mass. He can now do it to inanimate items so he can nearly combat even as he's blind. His Taito can now be used to stay away from in combat, but he nevertheless hasn't gotten used to attacking with it. Naruto has started out the incorporating his actions with the Uchiken, and it's genuinely much like the usage of the Uchi no Mai without a sword. He has remastered the dances but he nevertheless hasn't gotten down the Tsugi no Mai Kuruzu. He can't actually keep the speed so he has come to the conclusion that when you consider that his frame is so younger it can't address the rate and pressure he is making an attempt to transport at. He and Mifune have determined to attend before starting Jounin speed training. Chunin must do for now. He become now currently refining his ability however combating Mifune who become going at 45% of his complete functionality. But Naruto was nevertheless losing badly. 2 months later, Naruto has nearly grown to be a grasp in kendo and all he sincerely wishes is to learn some greater strategies earlier than he is absolutely a master. His pace continues to be at Chunin but it truly is quite precise for a 7-12 months antique. His Nagaraboshi no Mai has been mastered for both the Uchiken and the Uchi no Mai as well as his Nizanai Suki. He has only mastered the Tsugi no Mai Kuruzu with his palms however incorporating a blade into it has become a totally tough undertaking. He nonetheless wishes extra speed but right now he's just relaxing with his trainer speaking over his troubles. His Kenzen Kenshi utilization has stepped forward and his radius is now 3 miles which is about the period that an infant the use of the Byakugan can see. His Taito utilization has progressed substantially, and he can now do some actions with it. One of his favorites being the multiple jab thrust, and some other being his favorite prank, the afterimage. He wants to improve his personal pace if he needs to get to the factor in which he can pass so speedy he seems to not be shifting at all. However it's far too quickly for him to strive, so proper now his Tai and Kenjutsu are round high Chunin and occasional Jounin, at the same time as his Nin, Gen, and Fuinjutsu are almost non-existent. Mifune instructed Naruto he turned into best instructed to educate him the way of the sword and a bit of taijutsu. In order that became everything he pretty plenty knew. Samurai do not do Nin or Genjutsu and Fuinjutsu. It is too early for Naruto to analyze that. Matters in Konoha are getting worse. Kids are starting to blame Naruto for things that they do and Naruto has no way to deny their accusations with an alibi because nobody really sees him and such he is always the high suspect. They might have permitted Yamanaka mind stroll him, but then that might display his schooling and his information of the creator, which become horrific. Proper now he changed into on punishment for 2 months in view that he broke S very steeply priced and vintage vase. His punishment became greater chores and then while he is going to his room it was sealed up like a prison cellular. He had become increasingly more depressed however Mifune became constantly there to cheer him up and it did slightly. Right now he turned into banned from going downstairs to get dinner for the night so he clearly teleported to the Iron United States for education. Mifune and Naruto were inside the woods and the samurai made a sparkling batch of dumplings for Naruto. He sat down and picked up his chopsticks. After you Naruto, he stated properly. Naruto was amazed that Mifune became offering meals without a few kind of a mission. Whoa, what? Much like that? No sit-up straight task, no 10-mile hike, no, blind sword fighting? Naruto asked truly burdened. Mifune smiled and waved round his chopsticks at the same time as speaking to Naruto. I vowed to teach you, and you've been trained, you are free to consume. Mifune stated with false honesty. Naruto sat down in confusion, and Mifune smirked getting ready to combine the whole thing Naruto learned into one. Naruto suspiciously picked up his chopsticks earlier than looking around after which he suspiciously picked up a dumpling. He looked at it surprisingly earlier than Mifune attempted to hose down the boy's suspicion. Revel in, Mifune said with Naruto sooner or later letting down his shield. Final lesson. In no way let down your shield, begins, Mifune notion. Naruto tried to put the dumpling in his mouth but a parent zoomed exceeded him at high Jounin velocity while grabbing the dumpling. Naruto felt the wind and saw Mifune sitting in his spot eating a dumpling he picked up fast. Good day. Naruto shouted, seeing his dumpling vanish and his suspicion upward thrust. I stated you're unfastened to consume. Have a dumpling, Mifune said together with his identical faux kindness. Naruto reached, and Speedy reeled his arm back whilst grabbing a dumpling, but Mifune slowly swatted the dumpling into the sky and then ate it fast. Naruto glared as Mifune started out swallowing the tasty morsel, and soon the two had a glare-off. You're unfastened to eat, Mifune stated darker. Am I? Naruto requested, with Mifune replying, are you? Mifune spun his chopsticks. Speedy and Naruto made a conflict cry. Naruto used his Taido to fast bash his hand against the desk, making the dumplings fly into the air. However, Mifune, being the fast guy he's, swiftly grabbed all of the dumplings but one. He and Naruto eyed the closing one. However, Naruto's hunger took over and he jumped into the air even as opening his mouth to swallow the dumpling entire. Mifune Speedy got up and snatched it away along with his chopsticks. While Naruto fell to the ground, Mifune attempted to swallow the dumpling, but before it went into his mouth, Naruto poked holes into it, and hid it inside the nearly gooey middle, make it fall to the bowl and jiggle like jello. If he became paying interest, he might have noticed he just flawlessly pulled off his Nagaraboshi no Mai on an exceptionally small object. Mifune and Naruto fight it out with chopsticks. However, Mifune profits the gain and flips with bowls over. He then begins to shuffle the bowls round at excessive pace to try and confuse Naruto. Appearance. I can see it, so I will slow it down. Concentrate. Recognition. Naruto notion, looking the bowls pass around in multiple circles. Naruto the hits a bowl with sufficient force to stop Mifune, after which he gives a cry of success before whipping his chopsticks around the man's hand, hitting all his left hand finger joints. Mifune needed to prevent giving Naruto sufficient time to reach for the dumpling. Manby simply pulled of his Nizanai Suki on my left hand, and it turned into so precise. Mifune notioned to himself. He quick threw his chopsticks to his proper hand and battled Naruto once more along with his chopsticks. They have been both frivolously suit until Mifune stuck the top hand and kicked the bowl to the sky, causing the dumpling to fly at a tree. Naruto tried to grab it instinctively, the use of Taido, however he turned into a chunk too sluggish, so he missed. Mifune then threw a chopstick at the tree, impaling the dumpling there for some time. He then attempted to jump on Naruto, and then leaped to the dumpling. However, Naruto had gotten a little faster, and this time he reached out and grabbed Mifune's left leg and pulled the man all the way down to the floor. The dumpling started out falling to the two had to fight it out under the tree. Mifune grabbed Naruto's arm and flipped him. However, Naruto mastered his middle of gravity, so he flipped in the air and got a kick out of Mifune, who had to let pass. Naruto landed on his, however, simply as the dumpling fell from the chopstick. Mifune patiently waited for it to fall and he might catch it, but Naruto driven him out of the manner, and then made a hungry seize for the pastry. He opened his mouth huge, but it truly might no longer be as Mifune stuck his chin with the chopstick. The dumpling rolled until Naruto hit it into the air. Mifune saw it and kicked it forward, sending it and the fight downhill. He smirked seeing Naruto quickly run after it, so he grabbed his sword, seeing as Naruto already had his. Naruto was about to catch the dumpling, however Mifune kicked down at him, after which he knocked the dumpling back into the air. Mifune got here down looking to strike Naruto's leg, however the boy Speedy drew his sword and parried the offending cut down. He then kicked Mifune returned, who had to turn in air to land on his toes. Naruto jumped and then hit the dumpling into the sky again, while he landed and clashed with Mifune. He separated quickly and spun around handiest to grow to be clashing with the swordsman again. Mifune saw the dumpling landing again, so he slashed toward Naruto's arm, however he blocked it. So Mifune settled for kicking the dumpling back into the sky and going round Naruto to get his again. Naruto quickly became, and then he knew what to do. Tsugi no Mai Kuruzu. Naruto ran circles round Mifune at Genin speeds, and then Speedy kicked it up to Chunin speed. He then began slashing his sword and quite some nicked Mifune in his legs and arms. Naruto saw a threat to disarm Mifune, so he reached the tip of his blade out, and his momentum made Mifune launch his sword. Naruto then jumped into the air and gave a single palm thrust to the dumpling, making it observe Naruto to his landing spot. Naruto landed and then stuck his sword out to trap the dumpling, which landed neatly at the tip. Naruto and Mifune both looked amazed. Earlier than Naruto had to pant from the quantity of strength he simply used. Mifune smiled that his pupil not simplest used each technique he knows to get the dumpling, however he also managed to discern out how to use his black hole approach with a sword. Mifune got even extra surprise. While Naruto threw the dumpling at him and stated he wasn't hungry, sensei, Naruto stated respectfully, bowing to Mifune. Mifune bowed as well, seeing Naruto come so far. Flash back over, Naruto sighed as he left the academy. Nowadays changed into some other dull day in which he was kicked out of the academy for no cause. His instructor Iruka definitely idea he turned into the only he snuck attack into his chair. However, whilst Naruto attempted to show his innocence, Iruka were given mad and dispatched him out. He did not virtually care, thought the academy was useless and he could need to hold again as to now not draw suspicion as to wherein and how he were given so strong. He may want to say he watched his sisters teach, however alternatively, they haven't discovered 1/10 the things he knows but they're the selected saviors. Yeah, this world is retarded. As Naruto walked home he heard his mother yell at him to take the rubbish out. Naruto had almost forgotten that for the subsequent month he became on punishment, which were given worse whenever. Now while he's dispatched to his room, no longer simplest is the door sealed, however now they've motion sensing seals, so basically his every flow is recorded. He should nonetheless teleport, but he simply needs to be careful. In any other case he ought to get stuck. I am starting to marvel if they even love me. I'm beginning to definitely dislike this family. Naruto notioned to himself, pulling the garbage out of doors, after which throwing it into the bin for garbage. He then stalked, returned internal, and up to his room for the night. Blind to what became to transpire the following morning, Saturday 11:00 am, Naruto wakened and sighed. It became Saturday, so he clearly didn't have something to do today. He turned into going to teleport to the Iron U.S., however his father known as him down to the dojo. Naruto got up sincerely wondering they had been going to teach him, however as he got to the dojo he noticed his sisters there, and he scowled seeing that he wasn't getting schooling. Morning, Naruto. I known as you here because I simply need to reveal your sisters an illustration for a method, Minato stated whilst Naruto regarded closely at Minato whilst Natsumi shuffled from seeing their dad attempt out a method. Minato had this seal advanced for two motives. The first became to educate it to his daughters, and the second was to teach their son a lesson. Minato had his index finger extended, and he touched Naruto with it whilst announcing one phrase to shock all of them to the center. Restraint limit seal. Naruto right away screamed in ache because the seal strains traveled across his pores and skin, each one feeling like a tattoo turned into going throughout it with the rationale to hurt him. Naruto smirked seeing Naruto get put in his location, and Natsumi frowned seeing her brother subjected to that sort of torment, but it changed into for the coolest of them, so it become perfect. While the screaming subsided, Naruto lay on the ground shaking whilst the seals finished burning themselves into his pores and skin. They might fade after a few hours, however the result was excellent to Minato. With this jutsu, if both of you cross berserk, or you want to take down a foe manner too robust for you, this could assist. I simply use for your brother to educate him now not to break people's stuff. Isn't always that right, Naruto? Minato stated firmly, even as glaring down at Naruto. The blonde made no sound as he glared on the feet above him. He saw them depart as he turned into nevertheless on the floor in agony. That bastard! After 10 minutes Naruto wobbly were given up and hobbled to his room. It become professional Naruto could ought to discover a way to make his father par for his transgressions. And oh, he might discover a way. 2 years later, Naruto aged 9. Those ultimate 2 years were hard on Naruto. Minato by some means determined out he had the potential to interrupt out of his weaker seals, and kids had pinned increasingly more blames on him, really making him out to be the pariah of the village. Ever considering that Minato determined out Naruto has been under watch and saved under a great deal stronger seals that he could not probably get away of. It's like he changed into a prisoner, and his mother really agreed with this punishment. Naruto became bloodless, darkish and distant. He still allows out folks that need it, but now he usually wishes a purpose to justify his moves. His old Nindo changed, long past. Now all that become left turned into this shell of a once proud and satisfied boy. Naruto would commonly locate himself assisting out animals the most, since the human beings of this village torment them so. From supporting out animals it became like karma paid him again, and inside the shape of scrolls, and he simply were given a scroll for jutsu that became categorized as few in jutsu, but there genuinely weren't seals. Nope, the only seals have been those etched into his palms, and they may never be eliminated. The extraordinary scroll he were given one day referred to as them Bakudo, or anything, however Naruto by no means called them that, he handiest known as their names. His preferred one to date turned into wide variety 81, Danku, which becomes splitting void. His seal made the air become a completely sturdy plexiglass, and he couldn't be harmed from that facet. The scroll he acquired also at the bottom that once he rediscovered what it method to fight for what is proper he could get the Hado scroll. Naruto became stressed at what it supposed. He saved humans and creatures all the time. Naruto persevered, strolling home, already learning all the bakudo he wanted from the scroll, so he lit it on hearth, feeling he turned into an professional at the subject. As he was about to turn a corner, a white and blue blur shot past him, and after it had been 3 young adults with purple fang-like markers on the edges in their faces. They were chasing after a terrible innocent kitten, so naturally Naruto stepped in and stopped them. He pushed his strength into the seal that turned into inside his frame, and a yellow strength glowed from his fingertips. He then traced out 3 triangles within the air earlier than calling out the call of his method, Shitatsu Sansen. The 3 teens in no way stood a hazard. The 3 triangular electricity-fashioned binders stopped them from transferring as Naruto went over to the kitten that had a bit of bleeding on its proper hind leg. Naruto glared on the 3 and used his last shape manipulation to make the 3 triangle binders launch. Swear, stated Naruto, who became evident at the 3 boys. The electricity binders stopped crushing them for a second. Swear, on your lifestyles you will depart this cat on my own, and never communicate to anyone of this encounter, and I shall allow you to go. Naruto stated, now looking at the cat. The 3 boys looked at Naruto like he was in full before one confirmed clean defiance in spite of nonetheless being tied up. Yeah, proper. Get real and release us, youngster, and we won't harm you. One spoke, who turned into definitely the chief. Naruto smirked, sending out his Kenzen Kenshi and feeling the boys' real intentions. He then released all 3 of them and grew to become his again. Bold them to attempt something which they foolishly did. The 3 boys tried to address Naruto to the floor and pummel him, but they had been visiting at Genin pace. While he may want to pass just as fast as Maximum Chunin, he without problems dodged them without using his Taido, after which he spun round and struck one inside the chest even as talking. Ikatsu, unmarried bone strike. The boy he hit flew instantly into the wall behind them, leaving spider internet cracks alongside the wall. He could not circulate because the pain turned into insufferable. All he ought to do was blink and ache, to nevertheless be capable of blink even after I hit him with that. He becomes stronger than I idea. Next when I hit I will place more power into it, Naruto said, searching round at the alternative Inuzuka thugs. The other 2 slightly feared Naruto, however one determined to develop balls and attempt to throw a kunai at Naruto. Allows just say the blonde surprised him via taking walks forward as the kunai sailed at him. Dankuth Wall made the kunai effortlessly replicate again on the boy and caught him in the gut, making him keel over in ache. Naruto slowly stalked as much as the intended leader of the group and smirked as he intimidated the boy. Boo! He stated, making the boy bounce back and draw a kunai. Pay attention. Take your buddies and go away, however by no means tell absolutely everyone of this come across, for if you do, I'm able to murder you and your buddies one at a time, Naruto stated, making the boy dash for his pals and get the hell on. Naruto the became returned to the cat, who turned into searching at Naruto with a mild fear and acceptance. The cat did a meow, which Naruto guessed was a thank you, and Naruto picked the animal up and inspected its legs. I don't know scientific ninjutsu, but she only has a few scratches here and there. I'm able to restoration this, Naruto stated, placing the cat lower back at the floor. He took out a salve that he were given from a store and positioned it on the ground. He positioned it on the small nicks at the cat's legs, after which took out a few scientific tape and wrapped its legs as much as. After Naruto was done, he observed the cat changed into purring, which he knew changed into a signal that it wanted to go along with him. I don't see whatever incorrect with taking you with me, and besides I need to make certain you heal nicely, Naruto stated, setting the cat into his blouse and taking walks domestic. Let's go to my room, toddler, Naruto stated to the cat as he prepared to walk away. He could stroll, however he observed a scroll that regarded in a black fog that had the words Hado on it. So all it takes is a bit compassion, and that may be a motive to be a hero. Thanks for the lesson, Writer-sama, Naruto said, choosing up the scroll and taking walks away. Naruto walked out of doors as he felt nowadays became the day he must let the cat move lower back to her owner. This cat has been atypical anyway. It became almost like it may apprehend him, and he unusually should understand her. Even more when he picked her as much as determine out the gender. Her reaction turned into horrifying. No balls, so you should be a girl cat, he said, but 5 seconds later he ended up a scratching post. Yup, that cat was crazy, and out of all of the animals he stored, this was the only person who reacted to him looking to figure out the gender of the animal. After that complete fiasco, Naruto sighed and took the tape off her legs even as she stared at him with those deep blue eyes. Just as he unraveled the ultimate string of faucet, the abnormal cat come what may knocked him over and commenced licking his face repeatedly as a manner to inform him thank you. Naruto sighed another time as he set the cat down and stated his goodbye to the animal. Goodbye now, and run along, toddler. I'm certain your mom is concerned ill, but in case you need help simply come returned and I shall contend with you, Naruto stated whilst ushering the cat to walk away. Naruto, seeing the cat not move, walked away, and when he become out of her hearing variety, he spoke quietly to himself. That is one peculiar kitten. Naruto stated, Good day, who are you calling atypical? A miniature voice said, making Naruto flip around and try to locate it. He searched often earlier than giving up and turning lower back round, significantly. Idiot, I'm proper here, you cannot pass over me, simply turn around, the voice stated, taunting Naruto once more. Naruto another time whirled around and he most effective noticed the cat sitting there looking at him. Naruto, questioning someone became playing a prank on him, shouted to the timber. Ought to whoever is pranking me, come on out. I do not need to spark off my sensory ability, Naruto said. No, severely. I'm proper right here, the voice stated, making Naruto have a look at the cat this time. He inched ever so carefully to the cat whilst scratching his head. His face become proper in the front of the cat as she just stared at him. Did you simply speak? Naruto said, poking the extraordinary blue and white cat. Who else is here, idiot? The cat said, making Naruto's eyes roll to the again of his head and he fell out. Oh, superb. He sincerely is an idiot. The cat concept whilst trying to gather her thoughts. 10 minutes later, Naruto beginning to come to while he noticed he became nonetheless inside the park in which he had dropped off that strange cat. Guy, became that a dream? If it become that, became a few loopy dream, Naruto thought. For a minute there I simply notion a cat had talked to me. I ought to be going crazy. Naruto idea earlier than searching round and seeing the same cat from earlier than standing above him. Naruto looked suspiciously before poking the kitten, who come what may looked at him stupidly. Are you stupid? The cat stated, making Naruto again up in worry. It wasn't a dream, you can talk, you're a speak me cat, Naruto said as he freaked out. The cat had a miniature sweat drop on her head as the boy ran around stupidly. Ugh, clam down, idiot, I mean seriously, you do understand all animal summons can also speak, but hello, here's a notion, perhaps if you used that sensor element you informed me approximately, then you definitely'd recognize I am not a cat, the cat said, making Naruto marvel if the sky was falling. Slowly the cat started growing, and then after a complete 10 seconds at full length, Naruto say it become a stunning blue-haired girl with eyes bluer than his. She had the figure of a median 9-year antique female, however Naruto, being a boy, shielded his eyes to be modest. Will you put a few garments on? Naruto nearly yelled. Oops, forgot to United States of America, my garments first, she stated, going for walks, her hands over a seal that become on her arm. She then pushed chakra into it, and out got here a blue outfit that she zoomed into. Is that this better? She said, making Naruto open his eyes and examine her. Yup, this little girl might truly want to beat off the men with a stick while she was older. Her eyes on my own could soften even the toughest of crook convicts' hearts. Now, not to mention her generously light skin tone. Listen, Naruto, yeah, listen, Naruto. I simply desired to, The lady stuttered to tell Naruto what she desired as her face got redder and redder. This element changed into so hard for her, but she felt something nudge her ahead, and proper there she planted a soft kiss on his left cheek, flustering the young blonde. Thanks for saving me and defense of me. Catch you later, she said, going for walks away with a brilliant purple face. Naruto become too greatly surprised to even ask her what her call changed into. It did not remember. From the way she became leaping away, Naruto deduced that she become probable in the academy like him, so he could in all likelihood be seeing her later. Dang, still gotta marvel who that woman was. Naruto idea, rubbing the spot she kissed currently. 4 years later, in Konoha many things have passed off over the past 4 years. For one element, and this turned into mainly as soon as remarkable Uchiha extended family become introduced down to 2 participants in an unmarried night time. The cause turned into unfamous to the general public, but all of us knew who had carried out it. It become none other than Itachi Uchiha, the Uchiha prodigy and brother to some other 9AF3F374C588C90CDD1F10256FA5 prodigy Sasuke Uchiha. When you consider that night time Sasuke has obtained his Sharingan, and kept it well hidden however, and considered one of his spars with Naruto, The Uzumaki boy caught a glimpse of it and smirked. More has also occurred. Like bearing on Naruto, he ultimately discovered out the identification of the mysterious blue-haired female from earlier then. Her call changed into Aoi Megami, and he or she become an academy student in his 12 months, even though she simplest joined his magnificence at some stage in the very last 12 months. No longer much changed into recognized about her circle of relatives apart from the fact that they all died in Kirigakure, and they might do abnormal stuff with their bones, all but her mom, who only died 4 years ago, days before Naruto determined her. Naruto in the beginning desired to method her right off the bat, but he determined against it, and could permit her make the primary pass. She hasn't taken it but Naruto has been regarded to look her glancing at him now and again with a acquainted crimson hue. More things have additionally came about in Konoha, like for example Naruto has emerged as an expert of the Heido and Bakudo seal strategies he were given, and with Mifune he additionally discovered something that he would keep in mind, his finest sword assault, but it turned into referred to as Nijirasen, double helix. See, his body has ultimately matured enough for him to correctly teach it in pace and strength, and evidently he did, raising each his attributes to excessive jounin degree. Nijirasen was a byproduct of his velocity increase, and as such he can move very speedy, even as making it seem like he isn't shifting. He can also use Taido to create afterimages. However, the new pass he found out allows him to transport so rapid that it seems as if it is two of him, and the pass in a spiral, or double helix. It grants pokes and a shrink all in the span of 1-2D. Although many right things have passed off to Naruto over those ultimate 4 years, many bad things have additionally occurred. For starters, the adults don't like him, questioning him to be the only playing pranks on him. However, that is not the half of it. Now his punishments have increased, and as such the seals have as well, meaning now they may be using seals to immobilize him and make it difficult to transport. Up to now he cannot get away his contemporary one, so on every occasion he is going to his room he cannot move, except certainly one of his mother and father released the seals. His academy grades are terrible, on the grounds that the academics obviously dislike him, and this is absolutely because the quantity of lies and fake evidence stacked against him. Naruto definitely can't do anything about it, or he dangers getting located, and that changed into something he could now not permit to show up to him. He has already completed all his different tests, however proper now he had the final, which become 3 primary tests. The first become a written check, which he became kicked out for because a person had tampered with the testing materials. Next turned into the taijutsu element, which he became currently doing. He had controlled to make it to the final spherical using his faux academy style, but he knew that it wouldn't reduce it in opposition to Sasuke. He decided that he might want to expose a piece of skill to pass, but that might be okay if both opponents are equipped. Depart the popularity seals and begin the in shape, Mizuki said severely, hoping the blonde misplaced. That might train him to place tar in his sandals. He had to cut the sandals off his FT and purchase another pair. Naruto and Sasuke both dropped the recognition seal, and every dropped into their personal stance. Sasuke dropped into the interceptor fist and Naruto were given into the Uchiken stance. He then bent his knees to start the Nagaraboshi no Mai, which started with him rocketing off at Sasuke. The Uchiha changed into slightly greatly surprised by Naruto's speed, so he activated his Sharingan and attempted to predict the blonde's pass. He saw the blonde moving his hands for his elbow joints, so he did a backflip and avoided the blonde's assault. Naruto saw Sasuke land and right away saw the Sharingan. He smirked. This would be a fantastic danger to see if his Taido could in-shape something just like the Sharingan. Sasuke used his Sharingan to see Naruto shoot chakra out from his legs, after which he let move of it. Like a pull trigger he shot forward at Sasuke. However, now Naruto toned his electricity down to move at excessive genin speed. Do not need to feed out too much statistics. Everyone becomes surprised whilst Naruto vanished and seemed behind Sasuke while the Uchiha fell. The fangirls all notion he cheated, but best Iruka and Sasuke sincerely noticed what happened. He moved so fast he vanished from view, and then with lethal accuracy he initiated Nizanai Suki. He spun in a couple of circles and hit Sasuke in lots of pressure points, inflicting the Uchiha to fall to the floor. Winner by means of defeat, Naruto. Iruka said, seeing the blonde sigh before breathing in. Iruka, no fair. We all recognize Naruto Baka cheated come what may, Sakura Harino said. Iruka sighed. The lady became effortlessly the second most powerful woman in the academy, seeing as she had pretty the bit of education from various humans. This became precise, but Her dislike for Naruto was greater, and nicely she frequently belittled him regardless of the blonde genuinely making legitimate wins. Naruto agreed with Sakura, similarly elevating his hassle. If one of the Hokage's daughters stated something wasn't proper, every person might straight away agree simply to get on her precise facet. Iruka sighed once more and advised his college students of what he saw Naruto do. Ladies, listen, Naruto legitly beat Sasuke. He moved as speed's most skilled genin do, and then he punched Sasuke within the intestine. Iruka said, proving to Naruto that Iruka couldn't see the entirety. No, please prevent arguing and let's all move in for the final element, Iruka stated, ushering the children. Natsumi appeared excitedly at Naruto, and her gaze changed into best, overwhelmed via yet another, and that became Aoi, who somehow noticed all of the hits he landed on Sasuke in that one pass. So, I suppose it is time the huge cats got any other summoner, she notioned, seeing Naruto stroll away after help up Sasuke, who took his hand after obtrusive at Naruto. Internal with Naruto. Okay Naruto, I want you to carry out the substitution. After which Henge observed by way of efficaciously summoning 3 clones. In case you do all that, you will pass for this year and emerge as a genin. Iruka stated, making Naruto sigh. Huge hassle with that. The opposite Fat's head teachers always kick me out whilst it pertained to those 3 jutsu. I'm able to throw out substitution with my Taito, and I realized the way to do Henge, but I by no means discovered Bushin. Naruto idea. Naruto decided to wing it and go for the win. He first used his Taito and moved a chair to the front of the class, after which he appeared wherein the chair became. Oh, sealess substitution. Excellent activity. Next jutsu please, Iruka said kindly. Naruto grunted earlier, then setting his arms into the ram seal, after which channeling his chakra to behave like an illusionary mildew. Transformation. Naruto yelled, becoming an excellent reproduction of Iruka. Iruka nodded and Naruto ended the jutsu, turning him lower back into the blown, blue-eyed, black ninja shirt carrying boy. And now the remaining one, Iruka said, but Naruto shook his head. Iruka-sensei, I'm sorry, however I can't do this jutsu. Whenever I attempted to research it, your coworkers kicked me out. Do not forget, Naruto stated, making Iruka sigh. Naruto, you fail. I'm sorry, however, Hokage said, absolutely everyone who does not recognize the 3 jutsu mechanically fails. Iruka stated, making Naruto just allow his hair hang over his eyes. The blonde walked out silently past his classmates, and left the room accompanied stealthily by using Mizuki, the ex-trainer he turned into fired a few minutes ago for mendacity about trying out materials. Later, with Naruto, Naruto, it's me Mizuki, the white-haired guy said, looking kindly at the blonde who becomes sitting silently on the swing set. Naruto appeared up and glared at the man. Out of anybody Naruto knew, this turned into the absolute last man or woman he wanted to appear proper now, and he became positive he'd rage if the person spat some bull crap, approximately his present-day dilemma. Hey, Naruto, I have heard which you failed to take a look at, but I wonder, did Iruka tell you approximately the secret examination to bypass? Mizuki stated, stringing along his web of lies. Naruto simply glared emotionlessly as Mizuki tried to look as believable as feasible. This fool comes over, listen, and ask me about a secret exam when he's one of the principal motives I failed the first one. Ridiculous. He's as much as something. Naruto concept whilst determining to play along with the terrible tried to trick him. No, Mizuki-san, whatever could you suggest? Naruto stated while mentally rolling his eyes. Well, see, a long time ago, while the primary Hokage made the academy he installation a secret take a look at to be able to robotically turn each person who does it into a chunin. All you purchase to do is borrow the scroll of mystery jutsu, and then give it to a chunin who will then pass you and make you an automated chunin. Mizuki stated, developing lies right immediately. Naruto frowned earlier, then smirking and speak me to his ex-teacher. I am in. What time will we start? Naruto said, making Mizuki snigger internally, approximately how easy it became to idiot the Hokage's silly brat. Meet me at the Western Woodland at 9 p.m. sharp, Mizuki stated while sleeping away. While he changed into out of listening to variety, Naruto received a frown and watched his taking flight. Bottom. Idiot. Did he honestly think I purchased that garbage? Now how do I flip this fiasco against him convincingly? Naruto said whilst feeling 2 chakra signatures inside the wooded area. One he easily saw as his sister's, and when he used Kenzen Kenshi he confirmed it to be Natsumi. Why is she here? She have to have heard our communique and will no question tell Minato. I think I'm able to paintings this into my choose, Naruto thought while the usage of the Kenzen Kenshi to get a visual on the other character. While the sonar-like wave got here back and he were given a chakra photograph, he noticed Aoi and he or she become blushing, at the same time as he felt extreme anxiousness from her. Aoi, you can pop out now. Natsumi go domestic, Naruto stated, seeing Aoi come out of the bushes whilst Natsumi appeared greatly surprised earlier, then leaping away to head ask her sister what have to they do about this. Remember, Aoi jumped proper in front of Naruto, and he should see she had a surprisingly huge scroll in her hand. Is that what I assume it is? Naruto idea, seeing the female blush greater. What's up, Naruto? She began off. Silly. That became a lame introduction, she thought. Naruto raised his proper eye before figuring out to entertain this lady. In the end he did find her very interesting, and he could experience her power that she hid away. Positive she wasn't as strong as he changed into, however she should supply a first-rate Chunin or a susceptible Jounin a run for his or her cash. Howdy Aoi. What's occurring? Naruto asked, seeing the female shuffle. Naruto, I simply wanted to mention sorry about what took place at the academy with you failing. I realize Irika may be difficult, so I delivered something to cheer you up, she stated, beginning to get returned into her everyday person. Aoi was a wild spirit. She appreciated guffawing and fighting, but most of all she had a slightly perverted nature. You may inform by using the very quick sleeveless jacket that became open and her taped-up chest that she was a pervert, but it gets worse. She wears a type of skirt with the sides reduced off, showing pretty a bit of skin. Many wonder if she wears panties under it, but to date none have lifted it up to look. Thank you and your condolences, Aoi. However, you may locate that I am no longer in reality keen on pity, Naruto said, hoping she wasn't doing this out of pity. You're nonetheless that fool that stored me for years ago, aren't you? You have to understand I hate pity and could in no way supply it out, Aoi said, obtrusive at Naruto for his accusations. No, Naruto, I'm here for something else. How might you want to sign the huge cat settlement, and be a part of me as the only other individual I the sector who can summon them? Aoi stated, understanding just what buttons to push. I'm listening, however I simply do not see the photograph. I see what I am getting from this. But Aoi, what exactly do you get? Naruto stated, confused as to why she made a beneficent offer. If you had a lifestyles like his, being constantly blamed for things you didn't do, you'll discover that generosity handiest comes a greenback in. Keeping with Pound, Aoi frowned earlier, then smiling like a wild cat. Absolutely, this is for in vintage prefer. I am doing this due to the fact not most effective have you stored my existence before. But you have additionally stuck my hobby. I recognize of your authentic electricity, the electricity you're hiding. I simply need to look you in motion and get to attempt you out myself before anyone else does, she stated, but Naruto caught her hidden message properly. Thanks for saving my conceal. Join me and I'm able to assist you out along the way. Aoi, you bought yourself a deal. However, your settlement can in reality help me as soon as nowadays. Tell me, might you want to learn a kinjutsu from the scroll of secret jutsu? Naruto requested, seeing his plan lay out in his mind. He noticed how the whole thing might move. First he'd get the scroll from his father. The idiot keeps it inside the workplace, right in simple view. Stupid. Then once he did that, he'd run to the wooded area, join up with Aoi, each of them research the blood clone jutsu, after which they had leave at the same time as the blood clones take their place. His could permit Mizuki to get the scroll, turn out to be promoted because the Hokage might not allow his simplest son now not turn out to be a genin. Then his clone might simply ought to face punishment. While all this is happening, he and Aoi will visit the cats summoning global and educate, after which come back. Replace their blood clones, after which live out existence. Quite simple. And as soon as he does 10 missions, he may be capable of legally leave his dad and mom house. Good enough. I am in, Aoi stated, smirking as Naruto placed on a mischievous smile. Exact. It is going much like this, Naruto said, laying out the plan for her. That night, Naruto had already stolen the scroll, and now he changed into walking to fulfill up with Aoi. He sent out a Kanzen Kenshi pulse and were given a photo of Aoi coming proper toward him from the left. Naruto stopped and allowed the lady to land in the front of him. You ready? As soon as we start there may be no turning back, Naruto stated, even as barely commencing the forbidden scroll. Aoi nodded and he opened it up proper to the blood clone jutsu. Appears smooth enough, she stated, fingering the hand signs and symptoms, however figuring out did not have pretty sufficient chakra to carry out the jutsu. Naruto needed to agree just 3 hand signs and symptoms and a third of his chakra, and presto on blood clone. He knew Aoi would not have enough chakra for the technique, however he had a way round that flaw. Aoi, I feel you don't have sufficient chakra to make a full blood clone, so permit me to funnel chakra into you, after which you can perform the approach. Naruto said, inflicting the female to smile sweetly. His face reddened from the cuteness she had, but he brushed that away and funneled a meager quantity of his chakra into the female so she should use the technique. Aoi bit her thumb like she would for summoning and then commenced the hand signs. Inu Tora Saro hand clap. Ninja art. Blood clone Jutsuhi. Blood dripped onto the floor, and she slammed her hand on her blood, causing a crimson-purple seal to formulate beneath her fingers. Smoke entered the forest, and while it cleared up, Naruto saw Aoi standing next to any other Aoi who gave the impression of her right down to ever ultimate curve. Naruto stuck a slight nose bleed which Aoi saw, causing her to smirk. What's wrong? Naruto can't hand two girls on the equal time, she said with Naruto flying return from a nostril bleed. She laughed before seeing Naruto in some way magically appear next to her with the usage of his title. I'm going to find out how he does that someday, she notioned whilst seeing Naruto chunk his thumb like she did. Inu Tora Saro hand clap. Ninja artwork. Blood clone jutsu. Smoke once more filled the clearing, and when it permitted up there were Naruto's clad eye all black standing over both the Aois. Oh, kinky Aoi's blood clone stated, causing both Naruto's to fly away once more and the real Aoi to smirk like a cat. Naruto then got here lower back, and the original human beings looked at their clones. You both realize your targets, Aoi clone. You depart the fringe and call you tracks. You are to stay out Aoi's existence until we get returned. My clone, you move, beat Mizuki and permit the Umbu to take care of what's left. Cross inform Minato what happened that is not categorized, after which if and once they position you inside the seal, ensure you hold the one's 10 missions and survival education so you can leave the circle of relatives before I get returned, Naruto stated to his clone. The two clones nodded and every person left to head on their quests. With actual Naruto and Aoi were leaping to move, find a secure location to stash the large cat contract till they get again from the savannah proper. Now they had been headed to the ravine in which Naruto first meet the creator, whom he nevertheless hasn't informed all and sundry, no longer even Aoi, about. No, Naruto turned into nonetheless, seeking to discern out who the alternative savior would be. He just hoped it wasn't one in every of his sisters. So Naruto informed me. How strong are you? Clearly, Aoi said, seeking to pry out facts that the man or woman she'd be spending the next and a half of months with. Naruto, for his element, sighed, earlier than telling the lady all he knew. For a few motive he simply felt that he ought to accept as true with her regardless of her as a substitute wild personality. I will let you know all that I will do and permit you to gauge my power, Naruto stated, after which he went into the Hado and Bakudo sword fashion and preventing styles he knew. He told her how his title works, bumming her out that she may want to in no way honestly use it, and he instructed her how the Kanzen Kenshi worked. He even instructed her about the Nijirasen and any other flow he changed into running on, called Jairetsu no Hisho, Flight of the Matrix. Naruto ended up feeling himself be able to trust her extra when she instructed him of her beyond, how her father foolishly lead the Kagaya clan right into a demise entice for the duration of the bloodline purges. She informed him she could regenerate her bones and additionally convey them out of doors her frame for some time. Naruto asked about her mother, however she instructed him her mom wasn't a Kagaya, which weakened her bloodline to a point. You understand? Aoi, since I'm able to consider you with the records of this area, so I may be honest with you, where we're going to drop the scroll is an area known as Alpha Beta A, or as we understand it, the universe. And the writer of this vicinity brought me there and gave me scrolls on the whole thing, I understand, Naruto said, seeing the woman go huge-eyed. He basically told her that his father failed to recognize what he turned into, speaking approximately, and that his sisters have been fakers. They weren't the kids of prophecy. He and a few different guy was. Wow, so you suppose it changed into future that we meet, or that I gave you the contract to sign? She stated, leaping slower from S-tree branch than ordinary. It's viable. However, all I realize is that I want to discern out my genuine bloodline and grasp it before it's too overdue. In any other case there might not be a world to store, Naruto stated whilst preventing them at an ordinary ravine. This is it. Just toss the scroll down there, after which we are able to go to the summoning realm, Naruto said, watching the girl chuck the scroll like it became a dead body. Once they have been sure it hit the ground, Aoi started out the hand seals for the reverse summoning jutsu. She bit her thumb and then commenced the seals. Hitsuji Saru Tori Inu I ninja artwork. Opposite summoning agreement. Naruto and Aoi each vanished in a plume of smoke, now not to be seen for 2.5 months. Fake Naruto. Naruto without difficulty took down Mizuki. All he needed to do became use a bit of pace, and the Akatsu and the white-haired guy went down. He talked to his dad a few minutes ago, and properly he wasn't pleased that his son went at the back of his lower back and stole the scroll without his permission. He turned into so mad that he placed Naruto into numerous of her more difficult seals and dared him to get out. Naruto mulled over the whole victory. Sure, he were given his scarf, however now he was stuck sealed up like this for each day that he got here to this house, which was every day. He had at least a month of this earlier than he should legally move out. He knew Minato would put up at the front and try to forestall him when you consider that it did appearance bad that the Hokage's son moved out because he did not like him. Naruto simply was hoping he may want to escape of this. Let's see here, what is it this time? Oh, my armor strict seals. A triple gravity seal on pinnacle of this turtle shell on my back. Dang, the locking mechanism looks extremely hard, however I'm able to attempt. Oh wow, and he introduced a strain point correction seal to make certain if I do get out I may be an intense ache. Yup, I'm screwed. There's best one manner to get in this mess and one manner to get out. However, I have been in tougher situations. Clone Naruto stated to himself. His father could let him leave for crew placements next week, and when he stole the scroll he made positive he changed the groups up. He traded Sakura for Aoi as his teammate and chose to keep Sasuke. He placed Sakura on his sister's team. Hopefully so one can get her to hate me much less. Naruto turned into about to go to sleep for the night time when he saw the door open and in walks another character he simply did not want to look, Naruto. She had a smug grin on her face as she walked as much as his restrained body. So weakling, are you equipped to inform me what Mizuki desired? She stated, seeking to get something out of Naruto. Naruto simply looked at her emotionlessly earlier than she slapped him and made him glare at him. Now look here. Dad said which you have been caught with the scroll of sealing. I am warning you in case you betray this village, in case you betray this own family I can hunt you down and torture you, she said, making Naruto chortle hysterically. How? What circle of relatives? You all don't see me as such. My very own father doesn't even call me son and never speaks to me anymore. My mom similarly has the same opinion to the bull that I'm placed via and is the same as the man you name father. Naruto, you almost hate me and go out your manner to try to make me depressing. And Natsumi. Oh, Natsumi, she is the most effective, slightly redeeming great on this own family, he said, spitting out each word with thick venom. And but even though she is a redeeming nice, I hate her simply as much. I despise all of you and wager what in a bit at the same time as none of you will have to put up with me. I am leaving, the clone stated darkly. Naruto sighed on the nation her brother was in. Years in the past she without a doubt did care for him, however over time they drifted apart until now, they almost hate each different. A very small tear dripped down the woman's face as her solve hardened and prefer an Uchiha awakening the Sharingan. She threw away all her sisterly emotions for her brother. Whilst the time comes, you and that I shall have out struggle. However, Naruto, understand this, even the fur ball for your intestine may not prevent from me, Naruto stated together with his head down. Naruto glared at him for a moment, but then whilst Naruto seemed up his eyes scared her. The scare become black and the iris was a sickly yellow, however that wasn't all. No, his student slightly slit, after which Naruto noticed the factor that positioned the icing at the cake. This subsequent article scared the dwelling devil out of right here. What could scare a female with a centuries antique demon in her intestine? Nicely, it was a near invisible white mask that seemed on Naruto while the lightning struck. Idea it changed into best for a fragment of a second. She saw all of it, from the sharp and pointy enamel, to the unusual sage mode-like markings across the eyelids, and the eyes. The one's eyes simply made her need to scream. Naruto jumped lower back as Naruto smirked earlier than telling her to get out his room. Those two had made up their minds on what the destiny for them might be like. Allow simply say it may not be quite. Naruto became and left whilst Naruto become left to his gadgets. However, she never saw the demonic smirk he gave as she left. Sister, I ought to thank you though, you genuinely are the important thing to my freedom, Naruto said, retaining a replica of the important thing seal on the door. All he had to do became opposite engineer it, and he's have a key to barely release all the different seals.